everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon. Unfortunately for you, I am not the world's greatest D&D host, Gregor Tuscanu. However, I will be channeling him today. We've got the full cast and crew back of the Long March today for a very exciting and special episode. God damn it, Grant! It's trying to do my intro, and... Alright. Well, I guess we'll just play some Dungeons and Dragons now. And let's go around the cast and crew to figure out who we are, who we're playing. We've got Josh today as our Dungeon Master. Josh, how you doing?
I was doing great, and then everything was ruined. The intro was ruined.
Yep.
What's the point? What is even the point anymore? Yeah, I'm gonna try and I say call it a day. Call it a day, dude. I'm Josh. I will be the DM today for the Long March, which is gonna be great. Everything's gonna be great. No hodgepodge, terrible fucking MacGyver-like plan was made to try and find out where anyone was and therefore tap into powers that you guys can't fucking control. Nothing bad happened. Everything is good. And meanwhile, other members of the party are about to have a sponge bath, and it's going to be great, like a whole spa day. Look forward to it. Yes.
You're meddling with powers you couldn't possibly comprehend. That is basically the premise of today's episode, and spa time. Well, thank you, Grant. First of all, he gave everyone a nat 20 except Zune, who got a nat 1. Good fuck. Bad boy, Grant. And Isriva, we have rolled these wild magic surgery. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's go around the rest of the players. We have Louise back with us today. Louise, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm really excited to be back and having a spa. I'm having a great time over in my corner of the Long March, and I hope y'all are saddled up. It's going to be good. Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Amazing. And remind us of who Kasna is.
Yes, Kasna is a eldritch knight, and she is Zune's sister. She's at some point along the line adopted a tiefling. She's changing constantly. She hated everything, and now she hates most things but her adopted son. So, things are going well for her.
Relatable content. Usually it's the other way around. Awesome. We have Toolscore with us today. Toolscore, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, whatever's going to happen, but okay. Yeah, I guess we're off to rescue Kasna from her spa day with an elder brain, because, we do shit like that.
Yeah.
I am playing Gavin Fjordhammer, who, he's just a little bit of everything these days. He's a paladin, he's a cleric, he's got St. Cuthbert, he's got a Raven Queen, he can rage. Who knows what else he can do? Yeah, because the Long March.
One day we're going to take a seriously hard look at Gavin's character sheet and just minds will melt.
But it is not this day.
This day.
We march.
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
like burn spell slots to rage. Okay, sure. Who needs spell slots?
Amazing. God damn it, Evan. All right, I'm going to get through this. We got Laurelani with us today. Laurelani, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and it's my favorite day of the week. It's D&D Day. Yay! I am playing a necromantic dark elf wizard named Zune. She's very power-driven and very much so missing her sister. It's been the longest we've ever been separated. I can't go on. I need her back in my life.
My heart will go on, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good times.
And obviously, of course, everyone in the world knows who Zune is because she's the most famous drow of all time. But for 99% of the rest of the population who talks about Zune.
Shit, they're just not on Zune's Twitter. They just don't know.
I don't follow her. Yeah, if you don't follow Zune on Twitter,
I'm not. Oh, I should make Zune a Twitter. Oh my god,
it's happening.
Dear God. How long before banned? I would place money on this.
There's actually a Twitter out there that's like a Lich Twitter, and he tweets Lich-like stuff.
Lich Zoltan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very funny. I like him.
Yeah.
So I think I could pull it off with Zune without getting terrible banned.
Absolutely. Even Strahd's got on as well these days, So honestly, I think Zune is behind the trend. She needs to get on that, I think.
I think so.
Amazing.
Lichdom is so last decade.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. As for myself, I'll be playing Gregor Tuscanu, the dwarven fighter, warlock, lover, poet extraordinaire, and the world's greatest D&D host, who is rumoured to make an appearance on every show of D&D out there. So he's here today to try and probably find Kazna, try and find their somewhat adopted son, Scab, and to see what on earth happens when we do this terrible magic oracle spell, which is going to go badly. So that's a whole thing. Before we dive into today's game, remind you guys we're sponsored by dndice.co.uk. Go over there to the website, buy some sexy dice, 5% off using Canada Roleplay at checkout for that sexy coupon code. Save yourself some money, get yourself some beautiful dice, and try and roll better than we probably will today. Of course, you can interact with today's show. If you haven't followed, hit the follow button and join us. When we hit 20 followers, you guys get to decide something which happens next in our game. Could be a good thing. It's a long march, and we're in the Underdark, and we are who we are, so it's bad things, let's face it. Here's a tweet for you guys, 20 retweets, another viewer decision, and you can donate to affect the game, give players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and so much worse, my friends. So, Irvin, I've whispered you a donation that Irvin made, Josh. Can I let Josh give he knows what, who knows he's what?
Why do I feel this sudden sense of just fucking dread, dude?
Gotta end the stream, guys. I gotta go. Something's just come up.
Gotta go. Cat's on fire.
Yep. Out of here. Put it in the microwave again. Ronan Z donated £9 to give free crit successes to Zune. So Zune, doing alright there, I guess. Doing okay there.
It'll either go really well or really terribly, and we'll flip through it, and it'll be great.
It's going to be another 50-50 game.
Yeah.
I can tell it is already. We've all got at least one of each, so it's going that way. Amazing. I'll hand over to Josh, though, to talk about what happened last time on The Long March.
So, last time on the Long March, you guys found yourself in a cavern overlooking a bunch of cultist, fanatic lunatics who just firebombed and attacked the town that you've been hosted in. Not having much of an allegiance with these hosts of yours and not really appreciating some of the methods they're using, they have asked you to assist them in a matter of retaking the capital of this section of the Underdark, the dreaded Eastern Underdark, the long since lost Eastern Underdark. And you guys were basically being told that that was a thing that you were going to have to do. It was interrupted by terrorist attacks. So you guys chased them off and chased them to their camp to find out that one of their dudes totally had an intellect devourer in his head and was firebombed to death. You guys went down, negotiated with them, then a purple worm came up and attacked them, and that was that. So we found ourselves, you guys were all there, and then wild magic stuff happened, including Gregor Tuscan being right. Wasn't really, it took several wild magic surges for that to become a thing, because like that's a lot. That's a whole...
That was a world-changing event that happened.
Makes you question...
We're in a different timeline.
I mean, literally, interdimensional space came into play in order for this to happen.
Like, I had to sit down, I had to, like, rewrite laws.
Moradin himself.
Moradin himself was just, Moradin himself held a rock at the world in spite of Zune, and with it, it punched a hole through the ceiling, which brought with it the flood from above. Obviously, being built underneath, or being a cavern network that expands underneath a swamp, the swamp water begins to cascade down, and it is completely putrid. It is opaque, so it's impossible to see through, and it begins to fill this cavern with a slaughtered purple worm. Some of the party members decided that they were going to surf out, which when it happened, it was okay. No one died, so that's good, but I did manage to severely injure Gregor Tuscan, something I'm really proud of.
I think I had 12 hit points left.
Yeah, I know. Out of how many?
Out of 112? Yeah, 112.
Yeah. So yeah, he got pretty roughed up, but you guys managed to get out and block, sort of like surf your way on the head of a dead carcass of a purple worm. Zune saved one person from the cavern, someone called the One-Eyed Man, who is infected or possessed by an intellect devourer, has an intellect devourer in his brain, but has a drug problem, which means he doesn't exactly see things the same way as the rest of the hive mind, and has therefore been ousted from their colony. And together, you guys left, and then you had some time to actually rest, and it was great. And you guys just chilled the fuck out for like 20 minutes, 8 hours. It was all good. Had some rests, and you guys all had a conversation with the One-Eyed Man as you slept, and he didn't, not needing sleep. He had, there was something there between him and Zune, more than just him feeding Zune.
There is absolutely nothing. Zune feels nothing for anyone.
Zune feels
New
nothing
kind
for
of
anyone.
fingering. That's what happened there.
Yeah, you kind of
New
got-
kind.
you kind of yeah, a new kind of fingering. Which is
Oh
always-
god, if you think Zune's jealousy of Gregor was insane,
Mm,
Kazna.
yeah.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah, so he's pretty badly injured, but he spoke to all of you guys, and there were questions that were raised that some of you struggled to answer, and there were questions that he seems to have a pretty good window into people's souls. But speaking of windows into other places, you guys decided that you were going to try and find out where Kazna was. So using the spell Scrying, Zune decided that she would attempt to figure out where Kazna was. And in doing so, you guys realized that the party has somehow, through strangeness, all become somewhat related by blood. Kazna, having had a blood transfusion that mixed her blood with Gavin's, having shared blood with Gregor in the vampiric transformation, and being Zune's sister, their blood combined with holy water and combined into sort of a bowl, was mixed together, and Zune began to scry. And as she looked through a windows, of course, can show both ways.
You forgot the and failed miserably.
She saw something.
And the one-way mirror turned out to be just a window.
She looked into the darkness, and darkness looked
back.
And there we are. So
The Windows crashed. Love it.
Love it.
Windows blue screen when Zune cast that spell.
Tom,
If fucking Windows update happened halfway through her spell, like,
And then-
fuck.
Do not turn off Scry.
Maybe if you told me that you guys were all sharing blood, the blood
Also-
magic wouldn't have fucked up, and you
And
know.
also, like, I like the
Yeah,
idea.
it had
like,
nothing
the
to do with the
Windows-
die roll.
The Microsoft
Not at
Office
all.
paperclip helper like appears and is just like, I see you trying to scry on your sister. You need help with that? It would have been beautiful, but indeed, yeah. No,
Here, go to this site with all of your firewalls turned off.
Indeed, exactly.
I don't know firewall.
Indeed, you don't know firewall. You don't have firewall. Always have firewall. You're a wizard. God damn it.
Installed.
Right. So we're going to see you guys.
The firewall wizard? Are you serious? Have you ever tried to use that thing?
I can't. I just can't with this anymore. Okay, I'm done.
It's a whole thing. You can't. Okay, that's a shame because we're actually starting with Kazna today.
No, we're not.
So
Casper's not here right now.
Take a moment to compose yourself and sort of calm yourself, relax yourself, because that's the kind of mood you need to be in to play Kazna right now. Because
Matt
Kazna,
Spa.
you are incapable of moving your body. So, first things first, Kazna, there was a smell.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, the thing that is almost impossible to get round is this smell, this taste in the back of your throat. It is thick in the air. It is not unpleasant as such, but it gets round any defense, and it's this musty yet somehow moist taste that is just there, permeating, sinking into your skin. It is horrible. And before you, in a very, very large, multi-tiered chamber that looks like it was once indeed a huge bathhouse, there is a massive brain.
A resplendent offering.
Semi-submerged in the water and is surrounded by
God damn it, Evan.
what appear to be organic tubes that connect to it and move off through crawl spaces and tiny manufactured holes that look like they've been custom drilled into the surfaces around you. It's okay.
Not good. It's not good, guys.
Okay.
Not only are things moist, but things have gotten a little moister.
Yay.
Stopping. Over his 20 pounds, Kazna can have 3 wild magic surges, a nat 20, and 2 disadvantages.
Oh damn! I'm gonna need.
Oh,
Damn.
Oh my
Free-
god.
Damn.
Oh my god.
I got my table in front of me.
Right, I'm gonna need you to reread all those words that you said that time.
3 wild magic surges, please.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please, waiter. Free wild magic surgery.
Lemon magic surges, please.
Garçon.
I'll have a. Do you have any more of the 4670? It was such a good.
I'll have a
year.
side plate of nat ones, please.
Right. So what was it? We've got a 40.
We got 4, 6, 70. Next person to wound a target suffers overpowering vertigo.
You are currently very high up. I'm not going to lie. It is a thing. You are mounted on. You are in a pyramid that is upside down and mounted on a ceiling.
Does that mean that the person that hurts me gets vertigo? Maybe this brain is like, oh dear, I'm gonna have to quit being an elder brain. I'm feeling a bit dizzy.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what happens here.
Brilliant. The next one's 806.
Caster distrusts anyone taller than he is. It's a bit sexist there. I think the wild magic surge table just assumed your gender. I'm just saying.
That's
I'm
bad,
out.
man.
I'm out. Can't deal with this.
Yeah.
I quit.
And after each spell, caster shrinks by 50%.
Oh, that's bad.
What spells do you really cast, though?
You'll be able to use your yacht.
No. Listen. After each spell, caster shrinks by 50%. Caster distrusts anyone taller than he is.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
You're going.
Oh,
You can trust me for a while. Just don't cast
Wait,
free
does that mean I
spells.
cast
Greg
spells?
is the only person that she's gonna trust. Oh my god!
Can I do?
you know,
Can I
it
just
doesn't.
point out?
It just says after each spell, not like after each spell they cast. Just each spell.
That has to be
I'm gonna be
target.
gone.
I mean,
Yeah.
as GM has to
250%
go-
make 100, and if I'm 100,
I hope I can counterspell that on you at least then, because you'll be like this big. Soon you'll be riding around on my shoulder and you'll just be like a little pixie. You want to stab at people.
Amazing. One last thing. A D100 for Charity DK as Kazan rolls on the table of bad things.
Oh yay, that's what I
Okay.
need, isn't
Right.
it? Bad things.
I believe you do.
I'm so excited to be back, everybody.
57. A dense fog rolls in and persists through the early morning. That's not good in Zamora, guys.
Oh my god.
Fog
that
is the worst
that
thing.
The same one. That is the same one.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah,
You
we got that last
week and it was bad.
That is
Yeah,
Creepy.
that was
That's
what-
That was
creepy.
terrible.
You remember how you missed out? Don't worry. We've got a greatest hits compilation for you. It's
Oh,
coming.
sorry,
A
is that
moist fog.
somebody else? Yes, I'll be right there. Okay, bye.
That's fine. I can play your character. No problem whatsoever. So, you find yourself in a room that is it basically has concentric squares cut into the floor that are filled with something that bubbles gently like a simmering pot. But other than that, it is uncomfortably warm in here, but certainly not. Whatever this is, it's not boiling, and you know this probably because one of your feet has sort of
I know it is,
carelessly
really.
rolled into it and is tiny bit like just you feel like the wetness seeping through your boot, and you are faced with this brain.
And I'm unable to move.
You can't move, you can't speak, you can't gesture, you can't
Great.
do anything.
Wonderful.
There is a voice that seems to rumble through your skull.
What is it saying to me?
You and your house, this group
Eileen!
travel with are becoming more trouble than you're worth.
Do I feel like I'm able to respond?
You can't speak, but you could think a reply.
Okay. I remain silent for now. To pretend I'm not hearing anything. It's all in my head, you know. I hit my head pretty hard when I fell down.
Can you give me a charisma saving throw, please?
Can I? Is the question. No is the answer.
Did you? I got 50. Oh, right there.
7. Yeah, I got a 57 on my saving throw.
Yeah. So you suddenly see something and hear something. You hear the sound of high heels on stone. It sounds like someone approaching you, but you can't turn to see. This clicking sound, and before you sort of see almost like an image overlaid in the room, almost pulled across your eyeballs themselves. And at this point, you become aware of two things. One, you haven't blinked in an incredibly long time, and it becomes incredibly uncomfortable. Your eyes sort of are dry, your throat is hoarse, your bones ache, your muscles are tense. You have not been left in a comfortable position, and your body wants desperately to shift but can't. And it is incredibly painful. And the pain is just sort of drifting up through your mind. But the other thing that comes forth is a voice. It is the voice of your sister. And it is a voice saying something that you know, but at the same time can't recall the words. But you remember that the conversation filled you with dread as you stood before doors, and you knew that there was someone on the other side of those doors who was very angry with you. Someone older than you, someone who at the time still persisted. And you feel something shifted in your mind, and it's almost as if the thought is brushed aside, as if something is rifling through your mind. And then something else comes forward, and you see an image. This image is of a tent, and everything is moving incredibly quickly. It is like watching a video flash before you, and you see a drow turn and draw a blade far too slowly, as from your perspective you leap forward and slam into him, bringing him down, and the image freezes for a split second on the face, and you feel familiarity with the face. You recognize this person, but it is not a recognition that you yourself feel. It's just a recognition that is in your mind, almost as if someone else recognizes the images that they are sifting through in your head. And then the perspective drops down to an extreme close-up of this drow's neck and is washed away in blood. And then there is a final scene that plays out before you. It is a scene of someone calling to you. A strong voice, a reassuring voice. He stands by a portal, and he beckons for you to come forth, to join him. And around there is chaos, and there are creatures that lurk in the mist, and there is a sound of slaughter, and you turn your back. And then suddenly your vision clears and searing pain follows, with a slight sense of satisfaction that is very alien to you. These creatures, this family. You
Thank you, my friend.
Useful.
but you will be molded into more beneficial implements if you do not conform willingly.
You expect to use me on friends and family? You expect me to be willing in my own self-destruction and theirs? Is that right?
Throughout the surface world, across many different cultures, there are minds that know of a game involving pieces that move across a board. You never have but one pawn.
What exactly is it I am useful for? You have me here, unable to move, unable to speak. You may as well tell me.
A puppet is always an illusion, one that can be traced by a keen eye. For there are strings that connect it. Strings that can be followed. But, as an old page once said, there are no strings on you.
And
I was holding it together and I just saw Tulson's face.
I'd like to donate my subscription Wild Magic shirt to Josh. Not any of his characters, Josh.
Josh.
IRL.
Let's see what happens. I want to see what happens.
We do actually have a wild magic search for Scab, so you can apply Let's Roll to Scab and yourself.
If it's bad, can we just say for Josh? And if it's great, can it just be for Scab?
Sounds fair.
If it's in between, can it be for Jonathan?
Just for Jonathan.
Target can teleport, but arrives with one hit point,
so
it hurts real bad.
Okay.
Character feels really bad about himself.
5, 3, 6, 6.
Yeah.
That's a number.
That is target. Literally, target can teleport, but arrives with one hit point.
That's pretty dope.
Okay.
Indeed. So yeah, that's a.
Wait, so Scab can teleport whenever he wants and is a vampire and can regain health by drinking blood?
Yeah.
He
just
and he's a teenage boy who's going through some emotional changes. That's just.
But when you put it that way,
dude, it is bad juju. Scab is the big.
Why
bad.
do I feel like Scab is like the Ravenloft piece in our campaign that just like is like getting darker and darker all the time? He just seems to be sucking all the bad magic towards him.
Well, one day he might end up more powerful than you guys if you don't watch your backs.
If things keep this way, definitely will.
I'm just saying. So yeah, there is a I also have another one for some. Was it no? It was disadvantage. Was it disadvantage?
There's a disadvantage for the one-eyed man. More up to date.
Indeed. Okay. Right. So, you guys, yeah, you, Kasny, you feel this thing sort of. You almost can hear the sound of chessboard pieces moving, being pushed, not picked up and placed, pushed across a very old wooden board. And you realize that you are. Give me a straight intelligence check.
14.
On a 14, you managed to piece together that some of the things that you are experiencing are yours. Some of them are not.
Do I get a sense of whose they might be? If they're kind of familiar in the sense that there might be someone I know?
Not familiar in any way.
Okay.
And that's what stands out about it. You almost feel your hand on chessboard pieces, pushing them across in a quiet room surrounded by the smell of paper and leather-bound books.
Can I see anything in this room, or can I just feel it?
Literally, you just get that fleeting sensation.
Okay. So we would be your pawns on the surface.
No. You will be our salvation.
How?
There is something that expands and grows. And the only reason that it has not grown in this direction is because its efforts are first focused elsewhere. It will consume everything. But to consume us now would lead to starvation. We are but a small colony, a small hive. But there are greater things that remain in the West.
This thing that is coming, it will destroy everything. Or just you.
There's a sudden vision in your head, and you are sat on the surface, and it is fresh and crisp and quite cold, and you can smell that there is rain on the grass, and you are small, and you are cold, and you are huddled in a blanket that is made rough, and it grates against your skin, but you pull it tight against you, holding it close because it is so cold. And in front of you is a pitifully small fire. And just to the side of it, there is a large pile of firewood. And a figure that you don't recognize, but you feel a familiarity with, an old man with a salt and pepper beard and strong arms, tattered clothes. He holds 2 small strike stones, and he is making a small fire, tiny little fire made out of like a little bit of kindling. And you remember asking in a voice that isn't your own why your father didn't use more wood, and that he tells you in this memory that you don't use all of it at once, because this fire has to burn for a long time to keep you warm throughout the night. And to build a great blaze would mean it would burn bright, but short. And again, this is not a memory that is yours. But you realize that as this has happened, the voice in your head has been speaking, and you've almost not heard a thing he said, as if
Welcome, Dan.
the TV is on in the room and someone is talking to you and you've been distracted. You know they spoke, but it finishes, you see, we are a fuel, a food source, and food here is scarce. So we must be kept alive for now.
Fuel. For what? For who?
The great threat that spreads from the east and will one day spread to your home.
And you seek to stop it or aid it?
We seek to endure and to retake our city, or destroy it and begin anew.
And I am to help in its destruction.
You have strength. Your sister has cunning. The paladin, there's a slight chuckle, has courage and fortitude. And the dwarf has strength and little else. But you will be our knife, and you will cut out this disease.
And what of my son?
He will be the handle with which we wield this blade.
I had the feeling. Well, there is little I can do but agree.
Oh, there is more you can do. The dwarf cares deeply for you. This is known to us, and it is known to us that you care deeply for him, and you will use that to influence his decision. Your sister feels kinship and envy for you, and you will manipulate and twist that like a knife to turn her heart towards this darkness. And the other, he will cooperate.
I'm glad you seem so sure of yourself.
So, do we have an agreement?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Good. One more thing. And in front of you, the surface of the pool calms and begins to stop bubbling and simmering and becomes almost flat and unbroken like glass, with no disturbances beyond light that seems to pool in places. And it is a pale light, and for a second your eyes betray you in their tired, weary state, and you see what looks like possibly a very dark moon. Like a very dark moon, like a moon that has clouds in front of it, but it is blue and it is beautiful. And there, the shifting shape changes to that of a face, dark blue, keen, hungry eyes, and a pursed set of beautiful lips that twist into a grimace. Tread carefully, Kazna, or we will take everything from you. And you see this face, the face of Zune Vandry in the pool, twist into agony, and blood begins to form around her in the water. And you see her scream, but there is no sound, but you feel it. And with that, your body falls slack and you collapse unconscious. And Zune Vandry, you, my friend,
are going to take some damage, I'm afraid.
Oh. No.
You take 28 psych
No.
damage.
No.
That's more than half my hit points.
Long rest
She
get
doesn't.
fucked.
She doesn't. You don't.
And your
doesn't.
knees give out beneath you,
Oh, God.
and the bowl you hold tips and spills, and blood pools onto the floor with the holy water sinking into the dirt and rock beneath you, and you fall back hard.
You alright, Zune? You just shit yourself or something?
As I'm kind of broken and I'm assuming bleeding from like the ear or something. I do my best to stand, and being unable to do so, shaking, I just kind of look at Gregor.
Smell burnt toast.
Time cells can go awry. Especially when one does not have the proper material components. That was not pleasant.
As you sort of regain your composure, 3 of you stand there. There is a 4th who lies on the floor, unmoving.
Oh, One-Eyed Man.
Yeah. I look to him. Do I think that he's dead?
Would you know?
From looking at him? I mean, I have a lot of experience with dead bodies.
He doesn't look good. He's never looked good. He's very old for
He was already kind of had his fingers melted.
Yeah.
Well, turn him over. See if he's alright.
You go and turn him over, dwarf. He has an intellect devourer in him. I will not go near him.
He's your lover boy.
There is no such thing.
Oh, feed me your fingers, lover boy. Oh.
I go over to him just to get the dwarf to stop talking and get this inane chatter out of my head.
We finger back, you know.
Higher education. Muttering as I... medicine check?
Yeah, give me a medicine check. Whatever has happened to him is nothing you've ever seen before, but it looks like his body, he is still breathing, but he is drawing very ragged breaths and not very stable heartbeat. You will be able to feel.
He's alive.
Fine.
A kind gesture.
Good. I guess.
He is also completely catatonic.
And figure to stump, I believe, gives everyone a natural 20.
Hey, thank you.
That's a big stump.
Zune kind of stares at him, pondering.
Yeah, I go over and try to heal him.
A kind gesture.
Okay.
Just
Thank you for
to get him
off guard.
back.
Appreciate it, man.
So that'd be like 11 radiant. You see the glow come out of me and try to bring him back to life for whatever 11 hit points.
Okay, I need to roll something here. Give me 1 second. This is always fun. I feel like this is like, yeah.
You don't want your DM to say that?
Oh no.
How do I whisper rolls to myself?
Psychic damage? Is psychic damage like take a regenerate? Is it?
I'm not telling you shit, mate.
Ah, shit. I should have done it higher.
And a wild magic surge on Zune happens at this point as well from Hrothgar. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, as you do this, there is no immediate effect on him. Whatever it is, it seems to be lingering. But then some of the there's like a sort of, after a few moments, he suddenly spasms slightly, and you see his one good arm, which is still pretty heavily damaged, twist and sort of jerk. His leg kicks, and you see his foot just shoots out and breaks off like a piece of rock beneath him, and suddenly his eyes roll back in his head, and there is a tiny bit of froth that forms in the corner of his mouth that is
I want to assist Gavin on that. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first roll anyway, but yeah, advantage.
Okay. What I would say. Yes. Yes. Okay. Zune, give me a medicine check.
I'm going to use one of my nat 20s.
Okay. You can roll me a D2. Nat 20.
50 day.
So on a nat 20, you realize something. Everyone headphones off apart from Tia.
Read out the Wild Magic Surge while I'm gone as well.
I will do. So, hilariously, Custer is scarred with an imprint of a dragon's foot.
Hilarious, yes.
Hey,
so
remember
fucking
that time
hilarious.
you literally got fucked up by a dragon?
Yeah, there's actually a scar back there that I didn't remember.
Okay, so this, guys, this is between me and Tia and you in chat, and this is something to be kept quiet. Gavin is not trying to save him. Gavin is trying to kill him. Do you assist him still? Because he has just done something that has basically pushed his sensory system into overload, and the one-eyed man is most definitely dying. Gavin is lying. So, are you still trying to assist him, or
No.
are you trying to keep this guy alive?
I'm trying to keep him alive.
Okay, right, that's all I'm going to say. We're going to put headphones back on, so give me 1 second. Headphones back on. So, cool, this will be interesting.
I'm back!
So, yes, so what do you do?
Stop. Why?
You stop.
I
Oh.
say it out loud to Gavin.
What?
You're killing him.
I'm trying to save the brain.
What the fuck?
And not the devourer.
That's what I'm saying, the devourer. This body's dying. You've eaten half of it. The only way it will survive, as long as we don't go aren't unconscious around it, we should protect it, find it a new host. Only makes sense.
Couple of other things now you're being open about it. You did get an nat 20 on a medicine check. This guy is in a lot, like his body, if he was able to sense pain, which he doesn't seem to be so, he doesn't seem to register pain so well. He is not lying. This body, despite the fact you've eaten half of his left arm, his right arm is still almost unusable. It's still, it had a part of his elbow got punched out and pushed back in again badly. He's lost a lot of blood. He has sort of damage throughout him. This guy has a litany of scars. His body is worn. But he is still, you've interrupted what Gavin was doing, so he's still alive at this point.
I'm trying to give it mercy so that we can take it and find it a new home.
I am telling you, from a strictly medicinal point of view, that what you are doing is destroying him, causing him great pain.
You told me yourself. We watched it happen. The body dies, the intellectual devourer comes out.
And we want that, do we?
If we want to keep this, the one-eyed man, the one-eyed brain with us, yes. We have to go get your sister. We have no mounts. We have to find our way through these caverns. This body is not Use your necromantic mind. Look at that body. How many hours does it have? We're not even talking days.
You put me in a difficult position, Gavin Fjordhammer, if you continue.
Your call, Zune.
Fine. We'll stand here and wait for him to die.
Zune, your call. I don't give a shit what happens to this guy.
Continue.
Okay. At this point, Gavin, you can leave him. You've done enough. And he is like...
I mean, I try to put him out of his misery quickly and sort of am awaiting for the brain to teleport out and be its little cat brain self.
There is a sudden intensity in the shudders that suddenly builds to a crescendo that stops without warning. It just...
I mean, I'll be thinking at this time, we're not going to kill you. You know, save yourself. Don't die with this body. Trying to communicate to the intellect about, knowing that it, you know, just its own survival instinct is to not be outside of a body.
There is like a good 10 seconds where this body doesn't relax. It stops shaking and it goes...
Let go. Let go. You
We're
are safe.
We are going to have to kill it.
And then the body goes limp.
I wait for the cat brain.
You hear a voice in your head.
And why should I trust you?
Because we are trying to accomplish the same thing right now. You and I.
There is a sudden red that appears through the headscarf that quickly spreads. A great spillage that stains the material that is filthy and old. And something actually tears its way from the inside out. And a single bloody paw appears from the top of this headscarf, and something pulls itself free. On the protective carapace that surrounds this brain, there are still shards of skull fragment and plenty of blood that pools out the top. And an intellect devourer appears.
I take a step back.
I walk over to it and clean the skull pieces off of it.
It doesn't run. It is facing, if you could say that.
Right. The frontal cortex is facing me.
The paws are not facing you. The paws are facing Zune.
I can't remember. Does it have telepathic communication while not in the body?
Well, its body was very much clinically dead just then, and it still communicated with you.
Okay,
But
so I will not hurt you. Are you well?
you don't hear a response. But Zune, you hear a voice in your head say, "Well, I've shown you mine."
What are you all fucking laughing for? It's creepy.
Tell me the truth. Does this head wrap make me look fat?
Zune.
Oh, and it's her weird, creepy, lots of voices screaming laugh too, isn't it? Ew.
More creepy.
Echoing in this chamber. Ew.
I bend down to one knee and kind of extend my hand out to it like you would a
It
cat.
reaches up a paw and holds it sideways, as if for shaking.
I shake its hand. You are the most interesting brain I've seen in quite some time.
Ugh,
Continue
gross.
to be unexpected. Let's go and find my sister.
Zune, smorgasbord is open, might heal you up some. There's a dead body now laying here. You've already eaten that part of it.
I kind of shrug at the brain, and you take no offense.
he literally just sort of shifts to sort of look at the body and climbs up onto it and rummages through its coat, this jacket, this robes, these rags that were on it, pushes its way down, and underneath it seems to be struggling with something.
I'll go help him.
Inside his jacket are horribly damaged by the fluid that you transported yourself through.
Mhm.
There are scrolls, but the scrolls have almost had the lettering burnt into them. They need airing, they need seeing too. And they most definitely are not in a language that you speak or read.
I am not a scribe, but I need more spells. So I am going to attempt to delicately lay them out.
Whatever this is, give me just a straight intelligence. I'll give you
Yeah.
investigation. I'll give you investigation.
I'm going to use one of my net 20s.
Do you have another nat one?
Yep, I have.
Three
It's
of
par
each.
for par, so it's
Right,
just.
roll me a d2.
Yes!
You know that whatever this is, it is written in about 5 different languages. You probably... Do you speak... Well, you would recognize thieves can't.
I only speak Dark Elven and Common, actually.
But your sister.
You
But
would
my sister.
You would recognize...
Crazy, right?
I know. You would recognize deep speech. You would recognize abyssal, dark elven, and there is one that looks like abyssal, but most definitely is different, and it is not infernal.
Cool.
I'll hang on to these for you.
So, it thanks you with just a sense of feeling reassured that comes from somewhere else in your mind.
What is Gregor looking at right now? I had to run away for a second.
You are looking at a brain that is just pulled its way out of the skull of the one-eyed man, literally broken
So,
its
okay,
out
yep.
with 4 almost lion-like paws that are caked in gore. And Gavin has gone through Gavin has literally removed pieces of skull fragment from him to clean him up, and he's shaken Zune's hand, scurried through its old body, and given Zune some scrolls, and is now looking at the party. You think it doesn't have a face or eyes, but you can tell which way it seems to be looking from the way its paws are aligned.
Despite all of this, Zune is still the weirdest one amongst us.
I slap a bee on my thigh and kind of look at him
Real thigh slapper.
discordantly.
There is a pungent smell suddenly, as those things smell really bad when squished.
And
Zune
Lord
can't
Alonso
smell
can't
that.
smell them.
So, should we get on the way then? I'd like to be away from this dead body unless we need it for anything else. Maybe a snack for you, Zune.
Zune needs to eat it.
I go and begin consuming as I'm kind of like
Oh, of
laying.
course she does, yeah.
At the same time.
So
But that's normal now. That's what we do these days. This is
there
who
is
we
a
are.
problem, guys. There is one
We
problem.
recycle. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Eco-friendly.
That was not in character. Sorry.
Yeah. You guys have a slight problem of your mounts are fucking gone.
Yeah.
Doom's got straight up eaten by a purple worm. The others, you don't know where they are. It's good. It's all good. It's all gravy. Nothing to worry about.
Well, we've got a giant purple worm in the way we came, and mist. It's plugging the hole to mist, right?
Well, there was fog and an underwater cavern back that way. But don't worry, guys, because you guys don't need to worry about that. Chat's going to worry about that for you.
Oh,
We
no.
are in need of transportation.
What mounts do we find? Good. Good decision time,
boy.
folks.
This can't go wrong.
This is a
anyway
terrible
whatsoever.
idea.
Last time we did this, it was Sloths. I'm not kidding you. Sloths was the last one that happened on last Wednesday.
Like infinitely slower mounts.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of animals you find? Fucking sloths. Great, fuck. It's like to take us.
Slugs. Yeah, not the only thing slower than a sloth. A slug. Okay, there we go. There we
How
go.
about we
Sloths are more
all
likely to
find
kill
our own
themselves.
Tarrasques, and then we take over the world?
Yeah, Tarrasque.
Yeah, it's totally
Maybe
fine.
send Tarrasque somebody. Maybe
Yeah.
something really cool for that. Maybe more elder brains. Who knows?
Maybe we find a wild herd of intellect devourers.
Morty, bring me Morty, chat. Chat, this is your chat.
Bring me sunshine, make me happy.
Yeah. You could have Morty back.
Morty.
A molasses golem. That's good. Emus. Spiders.
Giant
lots of
spiders.
Instead of more
Giant
people like
spiders is good.
giant spiders.
Classic
No,
Rodian.
no.
Live hunt
Resume.
Cave birds.
Cool.
Owl bears are always a good option.
Owl
Always a
bears.
go-to. We got a lot of owlbears in the Monday game.
Antelope.
Oysters on
What, just a
I'm
random
thinking,
antelope, just
I'm
one.
thinking
Random
cave
antelope.
llamas.
Just singular antelope.
Cave llama.
Yeah, we'll get some.
Cave. Be careful, they spit.
Oh.
So should we get on our fucking way?
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. We don't know. Does Brainy know the way to another way back?
Is that it? Does that make you Pinky?
Oh, can I be Pinky?
Marv.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, yes.
What are we going to do tonight, Brian?
That was actually offensive to my people.
Wait, are you an intellect devourer?
Yes. Wait, you know that already.
The same thing we. No, the same thing. I can't do brain.
we do every night, Pinky.
Try to take over the world.
He's basically like Skeletor. Human.
So you guys.
man. All right.
You guys.
It pulls up on the screen. Spiders, cave bears, nightmares, or Morty.
Oh my gosh.
No, okay, Morty is there.
Just
I
a
mean-
singular Morty. Everyone else has to.
I want to ride nightmares, to be honest.
Dude, nightmares are scary
I'm
shit.
guessing the ones from the WoW inspired ones. But yeah, I want to
Nightmares are actually pretty cool.
dream
Rifle
in
you
nightmares.
for nightmares, yes. Yes.
Make it. I kind of want it to be nightmares. I've got
I'm
an
voting.
idea.
I don't want to
I've
see
got an
Zune
idea.
happy. Jesus.
I know, you can't do that. No votes for Morty.
Oh,
Morty is
Be
Morty.
discounted and moved towards
Morty,
nightmares.
written by Scab, is the big boss of the campaign. I'm just saying.
Morty and Scab
No.
together.
Stop breaking my heart.
And mine. This is, I did not come back for this.
I came back on one condition only. Louisa's contract is very clear. If I'm doing a second album, then...
Oh god. Oh god. There is. Oh god, chat. Chat.
What are you doing?
Oh,
What are you
I've just
doing?
come up with something beautiful.
No,
Don't come
no.
up with things. You're a DM.
Don't stop
God damn
this.
it. Yeah.
So there is you guys have a basically do you ask the one-eyed brain if it knows the way back?
Yeah, ask Brainy if he knows the way.
It informs you,
Thanks, Graticus.
and I'm gonna say this
Appreciate you.
it's going to communicate, unless I specifically say, it's going to communicate with all of you almost simultaneously. So it's completely silent, but you all hear the same thing. And it seems to be able to understand verbal communication. It says to all of you that it does know a way. I know 2 ways back. But unfortunately, the little stunt you pulled back there has pushed us close. I'm so happy right now with that viewer decision. I'm so excited. So, this little stunt that you pulled has pushed you close towards the city. And not the city you came from, the city they intend you to go towards.
Is this in all of our heads?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Is this in my head?
Is this all in our heads, this whole game?
This whole
Is this
game.
not real, though?
It all happens within
make-believe?
palaces in your mind, Will. Palaces with mind palaces. It's all a dream.
All connects.
So, all connects. There are 2 ways back. One is slower, and you will need to find something to speed your travel. Lest your sister, Zune, suffers the consequences of our prolonged absence, or there is another route that takes us close to the Shard, the capital.
Talk about London.
I would think without you having a body yet and being vulnerable, and without Kazna, perhaps the staying away from the capital city would be advisable. No?
Where else are we going to find bodies?
Down here? We seem to leave a trail.
There's a bunch of guys back there on pogo sticks we could go and... They might be meteored, but you might be able to find one that's not too charred, you know, just a little bit side cooked.
And forgive me for asking, it is freshly dead, correct? Unconscious, not truly dead. Or undead, or...
Oddly, it seems to nod. It just shifts its body.
brain
sort of,
nods.
Brain, yeah.
It wobbles. Fucking jelly on a plate.
Isn't he just the cutest thing? Come on, let's go. let's move out.
New pet! Oh! Great. Alright, let's go find the body. If we can find someone, you know, we don't care about.
Does he have like short little stubby legs? Do we need to carry him?
He seems to move pretty quick.
Okay.
You know, I knew a priest. If you'd been here, you know, a couple of days ago, there was this one guy you'd have been perfect for. Used to date Kazna. Real dickhead.
Oh, yeah.
A resplendent offering.
No.
Oh, shit. Subwatchkin with
No.
£25 donation. Here we
gotta
go.
find another Kazna X for Brainy.
Yeah.
Bound to be some down here.
I love it. Subwatchkin with £25.
When Kazna breaks up with
Oh,
you,
no, hold
like,
on a second there,
what about
guys.
the underdog?
Subwatchkin with £25 donation. Summons a white and 3 zombie allies to attack the party. God, what? Why?
Why?
Why? Who did so well?
Oh my god, that
White?
worked so
And that- yeah, it's
fucking
that one
Now
perfectly.
nightmares.
The undead city.
Because guess what? You suddenly see, for no explainable fucking reason, who here has the highest passive perception, guys?
The white was
Oh,
my
me.
ex-boyfriend.
I have 15.
There he is, it's the priest. He's back from the
Only
dead
13.
because I killed him.
15. We got 15 and a 13. Any raises on 13?
Do I
Will?
count in this?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay, didn't think so.
Okay, so who got a 15? Kazna, you turn. Zoom, sorry.
Zoom.
Zoom, you turn. I'm getting you guys mixed up because of the ex-boyfriend thing and, you know, keeping it in the family. Zoom, you turn and realize that the fog has actually reached you almost.
Oh, no.
It is seeped its way and is now starting to pull out of the jaws of the purple worm that
Thank you, Drist.
is blocking the tunnel. the jaws belly open, and from inside you hear something. You hear hooves. They click very distinctly, and you see 3 figures emerge.
Alert.
Fuck is that?
They are not being subtle. They are not sneaking up on you. They are free abreast, looking down
Got
through
free
the
breasts
jaws
on
of the
them.
purple, looking down
away.
through the jaws of the purple worm, and there are 3 figures that are wreathed in cloaks of darkness aboard 3 mounts, all of which are very distinct and very dissimilar. The first mount you recognize is wreathed in fire, and the figure on its back is very heavily armored. The second figure is emaciated. This horse looks close to death. There are
I think I know what's happening.
flies, and there is a foul smell that seems to waft from it that soon you will be unfamiliar with. And the last horse, the last horseman that is there, looks down at you guys, and you can see that there is, this horse looks to be close to death, and the figure upon it, the robes hang from it like rags off an almost skeletal-like frame. It is stooped, and everyone can roll me some initiative.
Oh,
Yeah, fucking
fuckers.
right I can.
Three
Let's do this.
Three
do it.
horsemen stare down at you.
Yeah, let's
I love
go.
I love you, chat. I love you so much, chat.
Cheering on from some room somewhere.
I want you here so bad. We're coming for you, I swear.
What if I find you first?
Never surrender. Just like
Never
Mom
give up,
always
never
taught us.
surrender. I got a
Don't
10 on
worry,
him.
yeah. So there we go. I'm so excited. So let's get these guys up. So we've got, who've we got? We've got Zoom is on a 19. Gavin and Gregor. Wonderful.
Yay.
You guys. So Zoom, we're on a 19.
One of them is Kazna. Riding in on Skippy the horse.
Just having a good time.
Who's that over there?
Scab can teleport her in. Scab can teleport her in with one hit.
Anyway,
That would be bad.
At dawn on the 5th day.
Are they
Looked at
all
it, oh,
alive?
shit, here.
Are they undead or living creatures?
Oh, you would most definitely sense that they are not alive. They don't seem like undead to you, though. There is something different about them, something that you've never experienced before.
You're like no one I've ever met before. I say as I swing my fucking maul into its skull.
There's a distance between them and us, yes?
There is indeed.
They're on horses.
They are.
What's the terrain like? Is there any kind of cover? Because we're
Not really.
I
You
had
are
thought
in
we were in a
series of
cavern.
You are in
Yeah.
series of caverns that lead off into more caverns. So think like a
Okay.
lot. There is. Basically, you're standing sort of like 60 feet from pretty much any
Anything
cover.
else, yeah.
But I mean, you could straight up run to like a wall or to like a pillar, and this cavern extends outwards beyond which you haven't explored. So
Yeah.
let's roll.
Don't worry, they can't move me.
God, I wish Kazna was here.
Oh, they are going first.
You think?
Ooh. Well, 6.
So they
Gregor's
look
good at
down-
taking a cavalry charge, though. He literally can't be moved, so.
Yeah, this is true.
The man who would not
So-
be moved.
They charge forth, and they come through the lower jaw of this purple worm, and they take it apart, powderizing the teeth in a cavalry charge that comes terrifyingly fast and very quiet. Despite the sound of the hooves, the horses make no noise, and neither do the riders. There is only the slightest of clinks from the heavily plated individual. And they are all going to split slightly and make their intended target very clear. So, we're going to have some attacks as these guys are coming through you on a pretty fucking nasty cavalry charge here. So, here we go. First one is at Gavin, which is the guy in heavy mail. Does a 24.
No, in white leather, because Gavin.
No, the guy.
Oh, the guy in heavy mail.
Heavy.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not the guy in heavy mail.
Does a 24 and a 26 hit you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ow.
Okay. These guys are not fun. Oh god, no, I just rolled D20 for damage. That's not.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So he comes through you, and you want to take 2 of these, which are going to be unpleasant, as he swings in one hand a great sword. And we're not talking like a full-on great sword. This is the one that is riding the flaming horse, and as he swings towards you, the sword ignites in fire and hammers into you. It is not a pleasant experience. So you take a total of 21 damage, and he's pretty much past you almost instantaneously. Next up, who wants to go next? Who wants to go next, guys?
Oh, Famine. Let's bring Famine on.
Okay. So, comes charging down. Famine comes down and swings for Zoom, except isn't swinging per se. As it comes forward from beneath the hooded cowl, this emaciated figure twitches unnaturally, jerks its lack of face in your direction, and the most vile, obnoxious green gas launches forward, and there appear to be things moving within it. So does where are we? Does a 25 hit you, Tia? Wonderful. This
At AC 11. Ooh.
Okay, you are gonna take.
Ooh, God.
I'm gonna need a con save.
I already took 28 earlier. Fuck.
I'm gonna use my last nat 20.
Roll me a d2.
Hey, we're overdue for it. Oh, thank God! Yes!
Okay.
Oh, happy Zoo Day!
On a nat 20, you managed to sidestep this. I'm gonna let you negate the damage just this once. It's a nat 20. I'm feeling slightly generous. You did get psychically fucked. As whatever this is comes forward, and the ground it impacts behind you, literally crumbles and just seems to wither around it. It cracks and splits. It is fucking horrible. And it is past you, but everyone else will be very much aware that the smell from that is just horrible. And then lastly, Gregor Tuscan, buddy. The thing that comes towards you is
hit me! Fucking hit me!
Okay. He's gonna certainly fucking try. 22 and a
Yeah,
19.
fuck, he can't hit me! I'm just getting away.
This thing comes down and is going. If you want to try and contest the horse, I'll let you, as it has failed to hit you twice.
I'd love to, just fucking. I think Gregor's
punch the horse in the face.
Yeah, Gregor's attack is to just cripple the legs of the horse.
Okay. Make me
drop a shoulder.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
He'd probably even just go.
Unmovable object, drop a shoulder into a charging horse. Horse is done.
Yeah. Do you want to strength on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Save or check?
It's going to be a check. And
Okay.
It's going to be contested.
Strength is 23.
Damn.
Pretty strong guy. Strong boy.
21 with advantage being a larger creature. It doesn't. You don't completely fucking go through this thing, but you do nearly dismount the rider, who swings at you twice with what appear to be fucking flails. A pair of particularly nasty flails, except they don't end in giant spikes. They end in what appear to be cages that are circular and filled with something. You're not sure. You don't get a real chance to see it.
Like incense burners almost?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Swings both of them towards you, and you just duck under both, shoulder check this horse, swing into it. The horse, you're like, you know that would have killed a fucking horse.
Right.
This thing keeps going, but you knock it well off course, and it is now split from the other two as they move away from you guys, taking it to Zune. By the time you dodge out the way, look up, the rider that attacked you is 30 feet away already and already turning. Okay.
I'm going to do what all spellcasters do and set up a good defense.
I'm going to spend the next 3 turns defending entirely, and then I will just...
Then I'm going to fuck these people up. So I came prepared for combat. I thought we were going into a city of war. Bring it.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else on your turn? Anything for a bonus action?
If I can move 30 feet away from somebody, then...
You can move, 30 feet towards, cover if you want. It will still be another 30 feet beyond that, but you can start backing up. Which way do you want to go? They are now between you and sort of the opening of the cavern. Behind you is the purple wormhole.
Just anywhere that I can get distance from them, just to make it so it's harder for them to get to me.
You back the fuck up towards the purple worm. You're still 30 feet from it, but you put, the distance. You're now 30 feet from allies as well, just so you know.
Yep.
Taking it to the almighty Gregor Tuscan. Gregor, this thing and you just fist bumped each other. It's pretty tough, whatever it is.
A fucking warhorse on his ass. Okay. Tough cave. I'm gonna... Is there one near me? The horse that I just, fucking falcon punched? Is it near me?
It's 30 feet away and he's turning already. These, literally, they've gone through...
Oh, I can move 35.
Yeah,
I'll bring
I know
it.
you can.
I'll just say, you come back here! I haven't finished beating you to death yet! Just like my dad said to me. I'm gonna rush after him with move action and slap him with them all once on a 13. That's a pretty poor roll.
Who are you aiming for? The horse or the rider?
I hit a horse. Let's go. I want this horse dead.
Yeah, cool. On a 13, you do not actually hit.
Okay, and then second attack is a 26.
26 hits.
It's straight up, but twice more for 12 bludgeoning damage. Just specifically going for, joints.
Okay, right. This thing, actually having taken a pretty serious hit, is going to... It fails, and it goes down. You bring this horse down. It is not dead, but you knock the rider off. As he just literally topples sideways, and both its weapons sort of clatter to the floor. It is on the other side of the horse from you, and there is dust kicks up around it.
Yeah. Take him down to my size. Get him off the horses, lads. Well, fuck him.
Speaking of lads, Gavin, you're up, buddy.
Okay, so let's do this. So Gavin, how far am I away from these, from any of these things?
30 feet.
Pestilence or war?
30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Let's go for war, because why not?
Get him.
Gavin takes a second and goes, my queen, lend me your vengeance. And you see his stump of an arm spring out to his side, and you see what looks like an elongated black raven wing, but it's stretched out so that the pinion feathers look like a blade, as this giant blade now takes the place of his arm that had been taken from him before. And he runs forward to go make his 2 attacks with his raven blade.
Okay.
And on 11, first one misses, I assume.
Yep. Unfortunately so, buddy.
And then on the second one...
Oh, damn.
Wait a second. Is it dark in here?
It is dark.
It is.
So I have advantage if I'm using the raven blade in darkness. So at least the second one I assume hits. The first
second one hits. Roll me some damage.
Also, 2 nat 20s to Zune from Stump. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
So the blade comes around, and can I say it passes through the armor because this does psychic damage?
It does indeed. And god damn, these horses are not ready for suddenly being countercharged by lunatics as you cut straight through the horse, and the horse goes down. The rider, heavy in plate, impacts in front of you, literally just like face down with this sword clutched in its hands, just smashes into the ground in front of him and slowly begins to lift itself up, seemingly more annoyed than anything else, as the horse makes no noise but tries to get back on its feet. Right.
And that's all I can do because I did my move and summoned the raven blade. So.
Okay. So it is the horseman's turn. The one that's still on horseback is going to react fastest, and it's going to turn and it's going to see Zumbandri, but it's going to see more than one Zumbandri. As how many duplicates do you have?
I have 3 duplicates.
3 duplicates. Okay, so it's going to come towards you, and this time it literally collapses forward. The rider collapses forward, clutching like the flanks of the horse and seeming to dig in what you can see are sort of blackened hands into the horse's flesh. And the horse opens its mouth, and similar, this darkness storms forth from its jaws. As it doesn't charge you, it moves towards you close enough. Doesn't seem to want to sort of like full on. It gets close enough to get you in range. And I'm going to need to roll, is it D20? I believe, so I got to beat a...
What are you doing?
To hit you.
Oh, yeah. You are only going to be able to hit my duplicates at first. It's 6 or higher to attack the targets.
No, you roll a d20.
Yeah, you roll a d20. You got to roll higher than 6.
Oh boy.
Easy game.
Easy game.
13.
So, one of your targets is going to take a hit. Well, let's see. They have the same AC as you. Oh god, that was not a roll.
Oh shit! 1 year, Louise. How's it feel?
Oh damn.
The anniversary.
That's
crazy.
It's a whole year of regret, really.
Oh year of regret. you sound just like every girlfriend I've ever had.
And the one you currently have.
Yep.
Hey!
She is one I have had.
This is true.
She's full of regret.
She's so full. On a 11, I believe that still hits your AC.
It does.
So
until next round.
You watch as the poor fucking duplicate in front of you takes pretty solid damage, 28 damage, and is blown to pieces in a storm of swirling blackness that seems to be 1,000 hands grabbing at it and whipping it to shreds that dissipates quickly. And that is him. So in front of you, Gavin, this plated figure pushes itself up, and as it does so, it draws itself back and almost seems to like fall backwards. and then you realize just at the last second that as it's pulling itself backwards, it swings its sword up with one arm, and on a 16, does it hit you?
It does.
A 16, damn.
Feels bad, man. Gee.
Only 3 plus 5. Okay, so that's 8 damage, and he's gonna swing at you again. These things ain't pleasant. I love the fact that you guys did chat some of these. And on a 19, he followed literally as he almost looks like he's off balance. He swings with an uppercut and then goes straight for your guts, and he's going to land another hit and do a tasty little 9 damage as he cuts straight through what was once a lot heavier armor, and you suddenly feel that moment of probably missing Splint somewhat. As he
that's not comfy.
Finally, Gregor in front of you on the other side of the horse, which is trying to get itself back up onto its feet.
Fuckiness!
This figure stands before you, and it takes a step onto the horse's flank as the horse tries to right itself, steps over it, and is going to basically try and grab you, it would seem. So,
Let him try.
On a 12 and a 25.
Oh!
Did I just hit?
I think that's the first time Gregor's been hit by something this season.
That's like
I think so.
I'm starting to sense a total party kill coming on here. Oh wait, Louise is in here. She can live.
I'm at 112. We're all good.
You're good.
I still got vomit breath to do. We still got tricks up my sleeve.
So this one comes forward towards you, and it basically reaches forward, grabs you, and I'm gonna need a dex saving throw. Actually, I'll give you dex or strength.
Oh yeah, strength saving throw for sure. Oh, balls!
Oh, damn!
It's a nat 1, but it's 10. I have +9 to my strength save.
That's
Damn.
insane. It's that belt you have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! Damn!
I can take that.
You take 27 bludgeoning damage as it reaches forward, and from the sleeves of it, heavy metal strips pour forth from its sleeves and begin to encase you, and you are restrained in this until you succeed on either a dex or strength saving throw, as you are slowly encased in a cage that begins to try and crush you as this thing holds onto you, and you feel its hands digging into your sides.
I got you just where I want you. Right next to me.
Zoom, you are up.
It's close enough to me, right? How close? Is it within touching distance by chance?
It is within touching. No, it's about 30 feet away, sorry. So it's not too far from the others, actually. But it is looking straight at you. This horseman moves oddly. Mage armor. Okay, fair enough.
Bumping my AC up.
Defense it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's
Anything
fine. I will just continue to try and keep moving away from them. Like if I sense
You
them
want to
moving around,
you could
kinda
move back towards the.
Come towards me. I want to vomit on 2 of them.
You could get to the cover of the purple worm, so you've got your back against the wall. Makes cavalry charges pretty stupid.
I don't want to get more than a certain.
You would be 60 feet from the dear old. Actually, no, it'd be like 90 feet because they both rushed them. You are backing up considerably.
I'll stand my ground then, because if there's still a good amount of distance, I'll wait.
Okay. So it is Gregor. Gregor, I'm gonna need a strength for a dex saving throw from you, buddy.
Alright, this is the start of my turn. I do this.
Actually, I guess there is something you could do, which I figured. Yeah. So
If I'm. Depends what condition I'm in, right?
you are restrained. So you're not paralyzed, but restrained.
Yeah.
So you're unable to move And
I can still
you
hit him, right?
Yeah, 0. You would be at disadvantage to try and hit him because you are trying to swing against fucking heavy restraint.
Okay, let me check what my range spell.
Oh, give him a kiss. Vomit in his mouth.
I want to hit a couple of them. That's the thing. It's 20-foot cone. Can I hit him
Oh,
in
that's right. Oh, I forgot it was a cone.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it possible to hit more than just this guy in this blast yet?
Not at the moment, no.
Because I do have Eldritch Blast, and I have Repelling Blast as well, which actually knocks him back 10 feet if I hit him with it.
Indeed.
So we'll give that a go, I guess.
Okay.
Disadvantage because you're close up though, right?
Do I get on a ranged spell attack? Yeah, you're right. My odds on that aren't actually looking too hot, to be honest. Unless I use a nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Use. Give me that.
All right. I remind myself what Eldritch Blast is. So, how many spell levels do I have? It's another question.
Your level. Well, how many levels?
Three,
of Warlock?
three in Warlock. So I've got.
Yeah, but it's your overall level.
Spell slots 2. Slot level is level 2. So I have 2d10 force damage. Cast a second level. Each one's additional d10.
Yeah.
And he gets moved back 10 feet.
2d10. So it would be same again because you're critting.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot. So 21 force, and on hit with Eldritch Blast, he's pushed back 10 feet because of Repelling Blast.
Cool.
And what that is basically Gregor like just gets out his little wand, which he's had. Does he have a wand? Yeah,
God.
He's got a tiny little wand, which he's had all the time. He never uses a little bone dagger wand, and just kind of like pops it out and just like pops it out of its sheath and just presses him with it, and it goes like it's like a cow prod, and just kind of boom, throws him backwards.
On 11, as you crit, I'm going to give you the 20 feet because fucking it's a crit. You push him back. Unfortunately, he's just stepped over his horse, which is prone on the floor, and he fails his dex save, and he goes arse over face as he just basically gets his legs taken out by the horse, which manages to right itself without rider and move away from you, and he's sprawled on the floor. Around you, the encasing that is surrounding you has stopped trying to crush you. However, you are still restrained. It stopped moving. Now It doesn't be connected to him. Taking it to Gavin. Gavin, you're up.
Gavin's tired of this guy's shit. I channel Divinity Raven Speed as my bonus action, and I'm just going to start unloading on him with the Raven Blade using my nat 20s.
Okay, how many do you have?
I've got 3, and I have 3 attacks. Let's see if he dies.
Okay, this is going to be
About to
interesting.
get Gav-owned.
Oh my gosh, I rolled an actual natural nat 20.
Oh!
I'll go with that. You know what? Roll me some damage. Roll me some serious damage.
So that would be 21 psychic on the first one. That would be 32 on the second one. Is he still alive? 21 plus 30. 21 plus 31 is 52 damage.
Tell me how you kill this towering plated man wielding a greatsword in one hand.
So this black sort of blade made of pinion feathers, like the knight itself, just goes slicing right through him, almost as though it doesn't make contact at all. And about halfway through, he moves his arm up, so this long straight blade just whoosh, goes right up through the center of him, and with it being psychic damage, just basically short circuits its brain as he just falls apart in two. And as he falls, you see like ravens go, all these raven feathers come spilling out of it as he falls to the ground and sort of fly off into the shadows.
The helmet falls clear. There is no one beneath it. It rolls completely clear, and the armor seems to come apart in places, and then begins to rise smoke, this black smoke that slowly begins to come apart, and it seems to slowly become formless in front of your very eyes. One down, 2 to go.
I still have another attack.
You do?
Yeah, so am I close enough? I have 60 feet of movement with Raven speed.
Yeah, you can move.
Oh, and he's prone, right?
You can move to either. So yeah, you can move to prone guy, or you can move to Zoom.
I'll go prone and not use my third nat 20 at this point.
Okay, cool.
Because I have, it's actually I have advantage on either one of them. What the other guy hasn't been damaged at all, right?
No.
I'm going to go after the guy who hasn't been damaged at all because I bet Gregor's got this one. So I'm going to go after him. It's in the darkness. So I get Raven Blade with advantage. I need to see what the roll is. It's going to say it's a nat 20, but it's not. It's a 26. I assume
26.
That hits.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And so that's a 16 psychic damage that I do to him. And here's weird. We haven't had this before. Can I Furious Smite through the Raven Blade?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Let's just throw another 13 radiant on top of that. So that would be 29 points of psychic and radiant damage onto the one. What is that? Pestilence? I forget which one that is. Is he war? It was war, death, and pestilence. No, famine. Is it famine?
On a 14, he comes off his horse, having just taken quite a lot of damage. And he lands on the floor, and it almost looks like the same thing has happened because the cloak seems to fall entirely flat, as if it's been laid out and there is no body within. But then it begins to move, slowly shifting. Whatever is in there is incredibly thin and slender and lank and
they're not like reforming though, are they, or something? I mean, are they? I mean, they are dissipating.
The other one is gone.
Okay, yeah, I just was double checking.
It's like there is just a slight cloud of blackness that is like dispelling outwards. Taking it finally to the horseman. This one is going to get up for starters. Look at Gavin, and it's going to miss. It misses. Zoon Vandry. It stands and ignores Gavin entirely, despite what he's just done. And you see it hold out what appears like a long-robed arm sleeve, and one of your duplicates just manages to sidestep slightly as what look like maggots fly out of the sleeve, and you see them hit the wall and splatter over to the bottom part of the jaw of the very, very dead head of the purple worm, and almost instantly begin to strip away flesh at an alarming rate, like acid, but you can see them eating through it. It is not pleasant at all. The one by dear old Gregor Tuscan stands the fuck up.
Come at me, bitch!
And he raises his hand out in front of him, and from his sleeve pulls something that you shouldn't be able to pull out of a sleeve. Pulls a bow.
Legally.
Literally a bow. And draws back the string, and an arrow just forms sliding out of the other sleeve, not into place, and he is going to shoot at you, having advantage for you are restrained still. Let me just see.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha.
So an 18. Damn, 24. Does 24 hit you?
24 is a hit, dead on the money.
Yeah. So the first arrow literally just clinks off you because you are sort of like wrestling against these restraints. The second one finds its mark and just hits you square in the chest, and almost immediately it sprouts outward from the wound. There are chains that seem to tiny chains that dig into your flesh.
Good.
So you're going to take the initial max damage for the bow, the arrow, and that's an additional minimum
damage. Wow.
So, 15 damage.
We're good.
Digs into you and holds the arrow in place, almost as if these chains are trying to pull the arrow deeper into.
I'm not even bloodied yet, mate.
And Zoom Vandry, this thing has just been knocked off by Gavin. The horse is there. The horse looks like turns and moves away from Gavin, but the rider is still attacking you. You're up, girl.
Let's try some just good old-fashioned magic missiles.
Okay, goddamn, that
The
is a lot.
Classico.
Yeah.
Okay,
28
so
magic missiles.
That's
roll
all.
a hit because fuck you. No, 28. You hammer the ever-living shit out of him. What are your magic missiles looking like again?
Just small bolts of blackness, kind of purpley swirling flame.
They swing forward and just light him the fuck up. Like
They look like
almost
Drizzt eyes.
No, they're much more evil.
They, as the first few sort of knock into its chest, his arms fly outwards out of reflex, and more of them hit down the arms, like almost like a martial artist targeting sort of pressure points, and he just staggers backwards like someone taking machine gun fire. He drops to one knee, but does not go down.
I look at him and smile. I'm glad you're not making this easy.
Gregor, buddy, you're up next.
This dude's in front of me still. I'm still restrained, right?
You are indeed. He's about 30 feet in front of you, the other side of the horse, just shooting you with a bow now.
But his arrow is like attached to me by a chain, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of chains and cages and stuff forming around you.
Get into it. If I like,
Kink shaming here.
is there a chain attached to like him and me?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
So you could try and break your way out, you could vomit, you could try and attack.
Well, the
could try
vomit's
and-
20 feet, so if he's 30 feet away, technically I'm out of range. So, yeah, I'll bust out. I'll try and bust out.
Give me a strength save. Try not to nat one. Like a bitch.
17.
17 is enough. 17. You hulk the fuck
Yeah,
out.
Hulk out and start. That's my action, and then run towards him. Action surge.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
And let's pop an action surge, and then just slap around them all. I want to get at least a couple of these guys in my vomit. In fact, fuck it. He's hit me. He can take some vomit. And it resets every short rest. So I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
So eat molten shit and die. 45 points of well,
I believe. What's your 8 plus your proficiency plus your?
it's DC 16 save, or else it takes half.
He makes the save. He is still going to take quite a bit of damage though. So yeah, he takes some
27.
damage, and like you see that like parts of the road slough away, and beneath it there appears to be what looks like riveted together armor that is bolted in places. It looks rusted and gnarled in places, and it sizzles and chars. Bits of it break away. There is nothing beneath it. The armor continues to move despite the fact that there doesn't appear to be anything keeping the joints together in places. But he fucking staggers back under this and is now like his robes just burst into flame.
Dope. Also, 2 net 20s to me and 1 to Gavin from Stump. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks.
Boom. Yeah, I just like, you're gonna die soon. Very soon. That's the end of my turn. Break out, action surge, move towards him, throw up in his face. The classic D&D trope.
Taking it to... Right. He's going to...
Isn't it me?
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Not very good on this. Oh, damn. Okay. Gonna take some damage. Oh, damn. Okay, so the one in front of you, Zune, suddenly shudders, twitches, and you see energy ripple through its hood, and it holds out a hand and then points off just slightly to one side to what is just a pile of rubble, and suddenly falls, and there is now a pile of robes in front of you that is not moving, as it seems to keel over and die. And it is now Gavin's turn.
Arcana?
Roll me an Arcana.
Do I have any nat 20s left?
You got 3 nat 20s and 3 nat 1s on the screen right
All right, I'm gonna go.
Roll
Roll D2, I guess.
Well, they keep reloading her, man.
Damn it!
Not a fucking chance in hell. You have no
We
idea.
were overdue. I
mean, fucking thing could have teleported for all you know.
It probably did.
I don't see nothing, do I?
Give me a perception check.
12.
Oh, god damn. You do, indeed, because he has disadvantage, and he nat ones, and you see a tiny little brain that is currently taking cover behind some rocks, and for a split second, you see a link of energy between the two, and it seems to focus on this thing's head, and it just keels over, and then your little brain friend just fucking tries to hide again.
Wait, so I saw the brain do something.
helping
I saw it
us.
do something to the brain.
He's not getting
Brain
involved.
just like psychic smashed him.
Yeah.
Nice. I forgot they can attack on their own.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
just don't
have
have
ability
hit points.
brains. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you if he was getting involved.
He's not in a cavalry charge. No. But
You
like,
can literally get squished.
weaken one of them. Like, I'll do some stuff from afar, but I'm very scavengery opportunistic.
Oh yeah. So no enemies are around that we can detect.
There is one behind you, which is by dear old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
He's
still
not
got-
dead yet.
Yeah, still got
Bomber
However,
guy's not dead yet.
half
He's
melted.
about
but not dead.
60 foot away. However, you are moving fucking quick with Raven speed, so.
Yep. So yeah, using my Raven speed, I'm going to go over and unload 3 attacks at
you, my
advantage
friend.
on him. And I basically just start like doing this spinning crazy ass shit, and we'll see how many times I hit or miss.
Okay.
Miss on the first time. Come on, with a +8. There we go. 24.
hits.
There it is.
Yeah, roll me damage.
For 16. So he just, I kind of whiffed the first one, misjudging, seeing as it's not wielding a sword. I'm wielding an arm that's now a sword. It's a little bit weird, but I just carry on through and swing 360 and come back around and light into him for 16 psychic.
Okay, he's still on his feet. He's fucking staggering and armed with a bow at the moment, so not in the best position.
And then I will do it again. 18 hit.
18 hits.
And that's for another 10 psychic.
How do you claim? Have you guessed? Because you figured out you've got.
Tavian.
What did you fight?
I fought war, and then
Okay.
there was famine, and
Who's
then
the other one?
that was the thing, whether it's pestilence or
Famine and pestilence are.
famine.
This is conquest.
What?
There's war.
Yeah, Conquest is a different rider, right?
Anyway, after I do the first 360, I just come around and just I put one arm out, and he's wearing this guy with the bolted on plates and stuff, and for my collection, Gavin grabs one of the bolted on plates and says, "I'll take that. I've got armor to rebuild." Rips it off of him, and where I've ripped off the plate, just plunged this giant great sword raven wing blade into him. And again, with this at the far side of it, it's like little tiny ravens just fly off into the shadows.
He
Fucking kill stealer! It's mine!
He crumples. Zune, you are closest. You hear a warning that there is another. It comes from your friend. It is just to you, who says, "There is one more."
Conquest,
Where?
famine.
Look up.
Oh shit!
as you look up, standing in the jaws of this huge worm, there is a fourth individual.
Of course,
Who is horseless, who has a huge scythe that he is wielding.
Death.
I kind of give him my best come hither look, and
Isn't that your god, Gav?
He holds something out in one hand. Give me a perception check. Just you. A 13. It looks to be an hourglass, but you can't see from that distance how much sand is left in the top half. And he takes a step back into the darkness, vanishing. There are, however, 3 horses that are still here. The one that was attacking you, Zune, is horribly emaciated. Seems to have next to no, it's just like unhealthy flanks to it. Very thin, but very quick and very strong, despite its poor health, and seems to breathe forth sickness. One of them makes its way over to you, dear Gavin. This one is a warhorse. It has plate, but it is hard to make out the detailing because it is wreathed in fire. And finally, Gregor, the one before you, is similarly a warhorse that looks heavily scarred by many a battle. And it is wearing similar armor, but it looks like armor that has been patched together from many conquered enemies. You have 3 very, very powerful mounts. These will be statted, and I will sort that out for you guys. And you guys, all 3 of you now have mounts.
Nice.
Yeah, piece of shit. You stole my fucking kill, Gavin. He was mine. We had 1 each.
I searched the
The
helmet.
next one is
ropes.
yours.
There is nothing there. In fact, as you go to lift it up, it begins to sort of come apart in your hands.
As Gavin says that to Gregor, the blade arm sort of dissipates, and he's back to just being one-armed Gavin again. And he takes a moment to catch his breath, sort of walks over to inspect the mount, and check out this big beast of a horse.
It is a horse that I know Gavin will respect, because Gavin, you know fucking horses way back at the beginning of your very
Way back when I was a blacksmith doing draft horses, big old black Percheron or bigger. Yeah,
big fucking horse, a brute, and stands there tall and strong and entirely waiting, seeming to be calm by your side.
this is going to be a bit of an adventure.
So,
Let's get on our way. We've got
Yeah.
a sister to save.
all 3 of you give me animal handling checks.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
I'll drop a nat 20 on this one.
Okay.
Gregor has like a natural affinity with animals.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty good with animals.
Yeah. On a nat 20, Gregor, this fucking horse, like literally, you're looking at it looks at you, it headbutts you.
I like him, and I headbutt it back.
I was gonna say it's like having the
appreciate
ram all over again.
It seems to appreciate.
Ramses.
It's a dwarven head shake. Oh,
Exactly.
how I miss Ramses. Whatever happened to Ramses?
Indeed. On a
The
on a
true
15
villain.
Yeah, indeed. The horse that War Road seems to like you, having worked with horses. Tia, however, your horse seems a little skittish around you, but you can ride it. It's just not. You might not have 100% control over where you go at all times.
Par for the course. Morty was the same. Morty didn't like her either.
Morty
So-
loved me.
And he went slave.
Shut up.
So as you guys clamber up onto your mounts, emerging from the darkness is a
I
tiny
wait
little
for the
brain.
brain. Yeah.
It comes over to you. It is curious. It is openly broadcasting that it is curious, but just the emotion of curiosity, and climbs its way up onto the flank of your horse, Zoom, and just sits.
I place him in my lap so that he won't fall.
How roles reverse themselves.
Oh, right.
He is now in your lap.
It seems this is much better than going on a very long march, however.
There we go. So you
This is
guys,
like episode 30 or
can-
something.
yeah, you guys begin to ride off, and you make good time back, like through caverns. These horses seem have no trouble navigating, and you notice that these horses don't ride like normal horses. These horses like don't hesitate to go anywhere. They just seem to know where you want to go, and they fucking make progress. Zoom, you get the feeling your horse is probably following the others somewhat. So you ride towards the back, but as you guys approach, you finally come out into a city, a huge cavern that you recognize with a pyramid that hangs from the ceiling, and you make progress into the city where unerringly now there is no bustle in the city. There are people lining the streets who stand in utter silence like a procession, watching you guys return, not saying anything, no gossip, no chit chat, just staring at you as you lead your horses through the streets until you reach the center, and you are now directly beneath the pyramid. And figures emerge, 3 of them. One looks like a simple shopkeeper, one a guard, and one probably someone who looked like a woman who was also particularly not well off. But they come forward and take the reins of your horses, bringing them to a stop.
Like Zemmag.
So you
We
guys
we have a wild magic surge on each horse here from Ronan.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Ronan?
Okay, what have we got? We got 4-7.
Yeah, 4734. Welcome in, Zemmag and Raiders. Welcome in, everybody. And I will roll on for my pony here. Let's see the table.
Oh, this is cool.
Next weapon. I'll let you read it.
Yeah, next weapon to
Thank you,
wound
Grant.
target is frozen in a large
Shit.
block of ice. So if anyone hits my warhorse,
I'm gonna
let's
change
go.
that slightly. Yours is going to be bursts into flame.
flame. Yeah.
Oh,
Can the Elder Brain be my mount? Yeah.
the Elder Brain be my mount.
Can the Elder Brain be my mount?
Okay, all bladed weapons within 50 yards are intensely magnetic. Can we see that my horse is a magnet?
You know what?
Do I stick to it like a Lego block?
You know how you can't really be you can't really move in your armor. Basically, this has like proper jousting greaves set into it, so like proper protection. And also, you notice that it's slightly like you could literally just stick your mold to the side of it. Essentially, it's got just tons of places where you can hook stuff onto. It's a pretty nasty fucking horse.
Yeah, I just set my mold to clunk onto the side of the horse. So, did we get all of them there? Was there one we haven't gotten to?
We're missing
Zunes?
My Elder Brain.
5, 6,
Yeah.
8.
Oh, you feel the horse feels icy water dripping on him during every battle. He's extra moist.
Aw. Why is
What's
my
that?
horse the one?
This is the undead juice
You know what,
coming
you know
from
what
you.
it is? Yeah, it is genuinely, it is
Moist
just
juice.
that horrible, cold clamminess of unwell flesh mixed with
Oh,
cold
yeah.
clamminess of unwell flesh. Yeah, it's not pleasant.
And my Elder Brain mount
Gets nothing.
Roll me yours. Come on, give me one. I'm gonna say.
If this Wild Magic Surge's caster gets an Elder Brain mount, I'm gonna be very happy. That's 5, 4, 1, 8 for my mount that exists.
Target can't be knocked off balance by any physical force.
Dope.
Fantastic.
The immovable mount.
My immovable mount.
You guys come to a stop. You are sort of you come to the bottom. How are you guys ascending? You guys have all got abilities to fly. Well, who's carrying Gregor?
Yeah,
I guess I can carry Gregor this time because I can use the Guitar of Wild Stallions to cast Fly on myself, and I figure I'm strong enough to pick him up. So I pull out the guitar.
Zune, what about yourself?
Here's the thing. Did not prepare Fly today, actually. So I'm gonna cast Levitate and kind of hold on to the back of Gavin so that I can levitate along.
Oh yeah, because you'd be waiting. Gotcha. Okay.
In which case, Gavin, I'm not gonna lie, Gavin is fucking ridiculously strong. So I'm gonna let him carry you with little issue. What about your buddy? Is he coming with?
I'll hold on to him with one hand if I can. Just
like he's like one of those
Cody, like purse dogs, yeah.
Oh my god.
Brainy is Zune's purse.
Can I already be gone? I don't want to meet.
What better for a drowned necromancer to carry around in her purse? An intellect devour.
Please, someone make fan art of this.
As you guys arrive on sort of the ledge, there are guards waiting who have spears and round shields who gesture for you to follow them without a word.
Yeah, they're expecting us.
They lead you through to council chambers. Slumped in a chair at your end of the council chambers, there is one very unconscious, very battered and bruised and bloodied Kasna Vandry, who is at the foot of the table and isn't restrained, but just has been dropped there. She looks...
I'm making my way over to her.
Run towards her as fast as possible. Kasna!
Did you say I'm unconscious?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Great.
Okay, if Gregor starts running, then I'll hold back.
There is only one other individual in the room, which is the Watcher, who sits at the other end of the table.
I run towards her and get down. Gav, you gotta help!
Do I still have the flask?
You do. Indeed.
Flask of my blood. I mean, I loudly say, "Let me give her some water. It will help." And
good idea. Yes, water.
No. Oh wait, they don't know that I know, right? Okay.
What, you know?
I mean, no. I know nothing.
Anyway, yeah. So I feed her basically this giant water skin. I mean, probably a good quart of my blood.
She drinks all of it without. I'm gonna say, give me a sleight of hand, because let's just see.
Wait, me or her?
You.
You're the one giving it to her.
I mean, I'm just making like a flask.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, give me a sleight of hand.
God's watching. You better be careful.
7.
Okay.
Gavin's not sneaky.
On a 7, Zune, your passive perception is
15.
Is 6.
You see dribbles of blood from her lips, from Gavin's potion, just dripping down her chin. But before you can react, Kasna comes spluttering back into consciousness. The band is back together again. Fuck me.
Together again. Ooh, all my love's for you.
Can I at least notice that she's got blood on her so I can totally be like,
like
smearing around like, oh, your nose is bleeding.
Yeah.
What a nosebleed you got there. Real big one.
Knowing that nobody can see me, I kind of roll my eyes dramatically, both mentally and actually.
You are not the only person who mentally rolls his eyes.
Yeah. Feeling better,
You
Kasna.
okay?
Are you
Yeah.
still thirsty?
Am I still thirsty?
You feel pretty fucked up. You are not at max hit points, I'll put it that way. You have had the ringer and your body just fucking aches. And you need to stretch and like your bones creak. You've basically been lying in a heap for quite some time, unable to move.
What's the matter, dear sister? Did you enjoy your nap for too long? Get up.
I'm glad, very glad to see you again too, Zune. And yes, I'm very thirsty.
What did they do to you?
What didn't they do? But the more pressing matter.
The Wanderer just looks at you in silence.
Who the fuck is this guy?
You've literally met him before, but I'm not reintroducing him to Gregor.
Never seen him in my life.
He is not important.
Oh, he's that country.
He never will be in his life.
Okay, but where the fuck is Scab?
Not here.
He is safe, says the drow at the other end of the table.
Unlike you!
Old now. Kazna could be dead. She is not.
This is true.
There are fates worse than death.
Oh, I know. I know.
There is something we have to do.
I assume it's the same mission as before.
Before our little interruption.
There is something coming, and it will come. And when it does, it will consume and it will destroy. We must stop it.
Okay, what kind of thing are we talking here? Like a plague of hungry fucking animals, or like an actual fucking plague?
I don't know.
Shall we bring in the resident expert in the matter?
That sounds quite lovely.
That's fucking sinister is what that sounds like.
Then, why don't you take a platform, Zune Vandry? For it has been your life's work. Tell us what it is that they faced.
Soon.
Just to be certain, he's referencing the Lich, the Lithid, correct? Okay. We are going forward into a most unimaginable horror, dear sister. And yet, such a great conquest. It is a Lich, but in a Lithid. Nothing would bring me greater joy than to destroy it. Lithalich. She kind of says, drawing the word out slowly.
Then destroy it? We shall.
And Lithalich. Shit name. Should come out with something scarier. Like Zune.
I'm not thought that. While it has been my life's work to attain lichdom, I have not succeeded. There's still much I have to learn on the matter.
Oh, honey, what a shame. Okay, so Kaz is back. That's good. Haven't got a scab still, but that's because this fucker wants us to go kill the Lithalich dude. Right, and then you'll give us back scab. Isn't that the deal we had? There's been a lot of deals I've been making recently. I don't keep track of any of them as a rule.
The deal that I have with you, dwarf, is that he will be kept safe and he will be fed. But if you are unsuccessful, we will find other uses for his form.
He will be successful.
We don't even know the location.
Ever
Capital,
failed yet?
correct?
The exact location, Gavin. Going into Enlithlich's city.
I'd like to know where I need to go exactly, so I can fuck this guy that you want fucked, so I can get back my kid.
We are willing to do the footwork for you, but you must provide more than just commands.
He will be in the palace. The palace that once belonged to another.
History?
Give me a history check. Not a clue, but I mean, Drow Society,
History?
a palace. Yeah, you can give me a history.
It's bad luck to live in a house that that was destroyed by something else, so that's very interesting.
Okay. On an 8, yeah. Kazna, you know about as much.
Well then, shall we take some time to rest and then be on our way?
Rest.
No other information you can give us.
We can
Or-
provide you with a map. And
How about protection against? I look at Zune. A lich that liches control undead, and illithids can control the living. So basically, anything we face is eyes and ears and hands and swords.
Head, shoulders,
Obvious.
knees, and tools.
there is something else that you must conquer first.
Here we fucking go.
And what, pray tell, is that? You haven't been very forthcoming so far.
I'll show you my fucking conkers in a minute, mate.
Can
People-
Kazna see my hands?
Can I see her hands?
Yes.
Can I
see
make a
your
sleight
hands.
of hand?
Yeah, of course.
Can you make me a sleight of hand?
I'm
That's a
going
19.
to. Should we kill him?
I think I'm gonna have to sleight of hand back, aren't I?
Yep.
On a 15, I'm gonna say not yet.
He
Spell
doesn't really-
components, then.
He pulls something out, places it in front of you. It is a chest. And he opens the chest, and inside there are neat rows of small, slim vials. There is something there that poisons the very air that you would breathe. We have devised a way using one that you bring before me, and it is his work that is the only reason he has not been dealt with.
We need a body for that one. He will be coming with us.
He will not be returning.
He's Zune's new boyfriend.
Soon.
They've been making out,
It's a long story.
eating off his fingers. I'll tell you all about it later. It's great.
Kasna, you haven't actually seen him yet because he rolled quite well on his stealth check.
We're not even.
So let's just talk about this thing that I don't even see. I'm like, what is happening?
It's great. We're not the weirdest couple now. They are.
Who needs a body?
He
It is not like that. Shut up, dwarf.
he pulls a vial out. These vials look entirely like clear. I mean, they look like water. They are made of glass. They are completely unadorned. They have a cork in them, like a simple stopper. But there are only a few of them. In total, there are 15. You can count, stacked in a row.
Gavin, I believe you should hold on to those.
Of course, what are they? And I assume by the number that it has a duration, so we'll need multiple for each of us.
Each one, we are assured, will last a single day. But you will want to overlap the dosages ever so slightly to give yourself a chance.
And
There
these
are-
protect us from the poison?
There is a
Or something like that.
contagion in the air that if it infects you will mean you will not be permitted to leave.
Do I need to worry about this infection if I do not need to breathe?
From what we understand, yes. You will suffer wounds and your body is in disrepair. There are plenty of places you can be exposed to it.
Due to my unique eating habits, I require some slaves. Provide for me however many this can buy. I open up my gold pouch, just kind of flashing it at him. You're a
He
dark elf.
looks at you quizzically. Your metal means nothing here.
Then you can provide it quite easily.
I can
You
provide
are-
you with bodies, but nothing that walks.
What if, hypothetically speaking, my sister here were to raise something to take with us? Would something technically dead on the inside be okay in this place?
Fucking
He just told you Zune is
None of them.
going to be damaged.
None of them.
That was
would
because
be
she was
allowed
exposed in
to
some
leave.
skin.
Something that's dead inside.
Nothing that enters and does not continue with their dosages will be permitted to leave. Which means anything that you take in that could be contaminated, you may not bring out.
Is this like the shit we saw at Black Mountain?
No.
Looks at you curiously, and there's sort of a pause. This is not that. This is something new,
Brilliant.
different.
The fucking weird fetus child of that one from up there's come down here and is fucking us again.
Can
Airborne flesh-eating virus.
All of those things are great words.
Lovely.
Can I insight check to see how he might have known?
Yeah,
About Black
absolutely.
Mountain, yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing too.
Even the dwarves of the Black Mountain do
It's
not
a
give out.
16.
On a 16, given what this place is and what the people of this
Mhm.
place are,
Mm-hmm.
one of them is probably a dwarf from the Black Mountains,
Oh.
and they share knowledge.
Yeah.
Ew.
They all know what any of them knows.
Okay, that's great news. That's really good news.
Kazna, as you have that realization, you have that sudden flashback to being a child again, sat there,
Oh,
and realizing that you were remembering someone who now belongs to the hive.
oh no.
Can I insight check my sister?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, we got a double whammy of your decisions to
Oh,
followers and
okay.
the retweets.
Whoa.
Oof.
Well, that means I
Oh,
need to
damn.
drink 3 more times. Haha, water, hydration.
Nailed it.
Hydration.
Okay, right. So, guys, on the way there is one thing that poses right. There are two challenges, guys. First one is getting to the city. There are plenty of caverns that they could go that will take a long sort of time, but there is a shortcut that leads to the city. What is it? What is the shortcut that the party could take that could lead them into the capital? And
Like it.
Just a big slide. It's a nice fun slide all the way down.
Slip and slide all the way down there.
slip and slide. And secondly,
We had to do a second one at probably a different moment.
yeah, I'll get to, I'll get to the
Which
other
door?
one in a moment.
Oh, well. Maybe what guards, what is it and what guards it?
Yeah, I quite like that.
Do I need to make any rolls to see if my sister is noticing me?
Yeah, I am trying to connect some dots here since I haven't
I
seen
feel
her
like
in a while.
I wouldn't really know, so I probably shouldn't roll anything.
Yeah, so
on an insight of a 15, she definitely seems like she's been through some shit while she's here.
Sister, I've missed you.
Thank you for coming back. All of you.
Touching. Now leave.
We will be back again, friend.
I
Thank
want
you
some
for your
assurances
hospitality.
that the child is alive.
Yeah,
want to
so do
see
I.
him.
I would like no. I would like to see the kid. I don't want fucking creepy Auntie Zune all up in him. No offense.
But you do not get to take. And you will see him from a distance.
Distance. Distance is a kind of parental style that I am best at. A distance one. Far away, you know.
He gestures to the door, and the door opens literally as he puts his hand out, and there are 2 guards on the other side who gesture for you to come with them.
Okay.
I follow.
I go with him.
You guys are taken down a series of corridors to a door that sort of looks like it would lead to like a cell. It has sort of the slot and everything that opens up, and the guard reaches out for it, uses a series of keys to unlock several locks, and opens the door. There is a sort of prison cell on the other side, but they're not joking about the distance, because there is no floor to this prison cell. Scab is suspended by both of his arms hanging from the ceiling, and he hangs above the entire city. There are mechanisms attached to the chains that make it very clear that he can be dropped.
Gregor is like speechless.
It's about a mile up, guys,
Same.
just so you know.
Oh God.
Come now, sister. That was nothing more than a timeout when we were children. You will be fine.
He wasn't brought up the same way we were.
Well, now he is. And he will have the Vandry name for it. Be strong.
I'm gonna do bad things to these people.
Yeah, you got that.
I did. I was.
Yeah.
I'm just. Oh, now I'm speechless. Actually, yeah, Catapult just looks at you.
I give her a dead.
Nat 20 on my insight of catching Zune saying that about having the Vandry name. I assume, can I say that, okay, I at least suspect that Zune knows it all?
I'm gonna say yeah. Nat 20, I'm impressed.
Okay.
Gregor just turns and leaves silently.
Can I roll an insight? Oh, no.
I'm trying to keep my face completely expressionless, so
It's a
Good
12
luck.
anyway. I caught that you said Vandry, and I'm like, okay, cool, okay, but I don't. Oh,
Yeah, well, seeing Scab out there and
10. I beat the 10. I beat a 10.
we are sisters. You know me better than
I know you well,
Yeah.
sis. I know what you're about. I know.
So yeah, you definitely catch it.
Very well,
Gregor turn.
Yeah,
you
he,
find that
he's,
at the
he
end of the
turns
corridor,
silently and starts marching.
we had
I
better
follow.
hurry. I go.
Oh, no, cool.
no, I was just going to say if my fly is still active, because I figure I'm the only person who can get us all down.
Oh, I don't have a mount. Where's my elder brain?
So you guys, yeah, you all guys can all fly down, and who's giving Kazner a lift?
Yeah.
I might be able to, depending on something. Can't remember.
In terms of size on the warhorse, you can probably
Oh, nope, never mind.
get onto Gregor's big one.
We are both gonna have to slide down, I guess.
Whee!
Oh, are you out of levitates?
I only have one.
No, because I've got levitate.
I'll
Okay.
just jump. You
The-
know what? I'll just
Dahlia just has
No.
Oh, that's right. She can't take any falling damage or whatever
Oh
that
yeah,
craziness
she does, but we
was.
don't. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't that
Yeah,
you?
That's
No.
me. I'll just jump. Okay, 6 in a bit. Woo!
So
Was that
right,
her?
I can't remember.
Or am I remembering like a different season?
It's been a long time
Someone
ago, I
couldn't
think.
take falling damage.
I don't
I think-
remember.
I'm pretty sure.
Feel like
You
that's
guys
not
make
that,
it down. You
We
guys
make it
but- Yeah,
down.
down there.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
I mean, if I have to make 2 trips, I can carry.
Are we gonna
Gaz nowhere.
rest before we go?
You guys have
Narratively
been
leave.
told you can leave after sort of the after resting, but yeah, your horses are being looked after, not fed really, because these horses don't seem to be too fussed about that.
Gregor definitely isn't taking any kind of rest. He's going.
Can we
I
go
might
up to
be-
Brainy's old house?
Yeah, you could if you want to try and rest. He will.
Let's rest at Brainy's old house because also Brainy might have some things. If nothing else, get him some sphere, so that when he gets a new body, he can get it good and addicted. But if he doesn't have a spare sphere, come on, you know he's got a stash.
Oh yeah,
And-
everybody's got a stash.
Everyone's got a stash. I don't even do that shit, and I know that
I
everybody's
was gonna
got
say,
a stash.
Gavin, how would you know? Like,
But he also has got a
That's very
major alchemy lab up there. Maybe we could get other things that might be helpful. I mean, if he can make that alchemist fire, that might be a nice thing to have.
I'm looking out for bodies or people
Like-
along the way that we can just kidnap and take with us to his
Yeah.
house. By the way,
Out of character, that makes a lot of sense to Will, but Gregor is just, he doesn't want to stop. You're probably gonna have to stop him if you want to take some kind of rest.
I reach over to Gregor at some point and I kind of hunker down and I go, Kasna is quite hurt as well. You might want to take her and go and get some food.
He stops, looks over towards Kazna. She does look pretty.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I look like an idiot.
Yeah, fine.
We will be on our way as soon as possible, Dwarf. I know how important this is to you.
I sullenly walk over towards where Kazna is, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are there guards, peasants, a person around anywhere?
There are a lot of people, and a lot of them are doing nothing and just staring at you still.
I just look at them and go, if this mission's to succeed, I need a volunteer
I can
for
pay
Kazna. They should know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, one of them just nods. No one moves. There's some time passes, and then someone approaches from down the road, from one of the many buildings, and brings 2 very large, full water skins with stoppers in, and hands them to you.
It's appreciated. If you need us, we'll be at the one-eyed man's hut. I'm sure you will have eyes on us the whole way regardless.
We are always aware.
Yes, yes.
You mentioned food, he says, looking towards Kazna and Gregor.
Gregor doesn't speak.
Actually, Gavin starts thinking about his own rumbling stomach, which hasn't been fed for a while. As being
You
the
guys need to fucking eat at some point.
yeah, no. So yeah, I mean, Gavin certainly does. I've got my satchel of my satchel of
You've got food, yeah.
Let's go
So, I
have
mean-
a dinner party at the
Yeah,
one
no, so I'll cook once I get up there because I've still got Agatha with me. It's probably
Okay.
I might need someone with 2 hands to help out with cracking. I can probably crack eggs with one. I mean,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna-
Gavin doesn't
yeah.
cook.
You're a cook. He cooks a lot.
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
So
like a-
Gavin's gonna have to do a little bit of adjusting to cook one-handed, but he'll figure.
I've just got this image of like Gavin balancing on one leg, like kicking stuff over to himself, catching it.
Oh, dude, I'm totally doing like the Brazilian and the Brazilian guy in the grocery store
Yeah.
gif.
Chucking stuff in. So, yeah, you guys start approaching on your horses, taking them towards the one-eyed man's shack. When all three horses suddenly rear up, not enough to throw you off, but they come deadly to a stop, like just boom, like they've walked into a force, and they rear up and begin sort of trouncing at the floor.
What is it, big guy? I sort of say to the horse.
And you hear them sort of snorting heavy breath, which is like the first time you've actually heard them make noise. The flames around War begin to build slightly, and these flames don't hurt you as a rider. They don't hurt, they don't damage anything that you put on, but you get the feeling that's not always the case.
Can I look around, knowing that something's...
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Can I use animal handling to read what they're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you try.
15.
They sense something that they are apprehensive about up ahead. It is near the one-eyed man's shack. Quietly in your minds, to all of you, Bar Kazna, a voice says, "There isn't anything up there. Not that I can detect, anyway. And I can detect most things."
Yeah. Gregor, come with me. We need to see what's happening.
He grunts and comes with you.
Do you guys try and ride the horses up there?
No, dismount.
So, Kazna and I presume you're riding on Zune's horse.
Yes.
And Zune, I presume he's sort of almost in a bag.
Yeah.
Kazna, give me an animal handling.
Love nothing more than to do that on a 4.
On a 4, this horse doesn't seem particularly taken with you, but it doesn't seem to want to kick you off.
That's nice.
But as you get sort of handed the reins to the other two, Gregor and Gavin make their way up very cautiously towards this hut. This hut is
Oh no, I'm with my warhammer in my hand. I'm definitely ready to go.
Oh yeah, no, I imagine.
Likewise, Gregor unslings his maul.
As you guys reach, you hear a noise that is actually odd but very familiar at the same time, because you've heard it a lot in the last few hours. You hear the slight clicking of hooves. There is a 4th horse, and it is an old friend. Skeletal, very, very injured at a cursory glance, but doesn't seem to recognize how injured it is. Wearing skin that is badly damaged, and in places has been torn away and doesn't look like it fits 100%. And it very much looks very dead. But you remember looking after this horse.
Can I take like a rotten apple out of the bag, because he likes rotten apples instead of nice red ones? I have a rotten apple for Morty.
It slowly comes into view for the 2 drow as it steps out from behind.
I dismount immediately.
The horse that you're on, Kazna, suddenly feels a lot more comfortable, as if it wasn't really okay with Zune's presence, and chills out quite quickly, growing accustomed to you. You almost sense a kinship, as if it can sense the hunger that is within you.
Yes.
And shares that hunger.
Oh, no way! That's
Fuck your
awesome!
stupid skeleton horse.
There you go.
That's awesome!
When chat was like nightmares, I was like, I have a plan. I have a plan. I just got to get you guys back together.
Oh, I've never been this happy in all of my life.
You have this rotten apple, and Morty obliges by biting into it. A very uneven bite, as he has teeth missing.
Oh yeah.
He looks like he's had a few scraps to get here, and has taken some pretty nasty wounds, but he is there. And,
So he's. Stick with me on this.
Okay.
I'm running like
He's
with
a skeletal horse, right?
He
That
is
is borrowing skin from other horses.
Yes, indeed.
But he has basically, so where his bones have broken and stuff, they're like shattered and that kind of thing, and maybe parts of bone are still kind of being held in by the skin.
Bits and pieces of it.
Okay, stick with me here.
Okay.
Can I use mending? Because he's just bones and stuff. We have both sides.
You can.
Can I use mending to actually like mend
Bits and pieces of him, yeah,
his
absolutely.
bits and pieces back together wherever I've got both sides of it? So yeah, I cast mending.
So, Zoom, as you run forward, Morty immediately sees you and rears up, just pulling away from Gavin slightly, and comes trotting over to you, making a little bit of a huff.
I just kind of like nuzzle his head. Where have you been, boy? Where have you been?
There
Wait.
is-
I mentally reach out to the brain. Where has he been? You can't sense him. You cannot read Morty's thoughts.
He is not living.
Hmm.
Nor are the others.
I flood him with memories of Morty.
He sort of like shudders ever so slightly with all the intake, and you get the sensation of contentness from him.
These really vague memories when Morty was alive, and then these very sharp, clear, loving memories after he died.
I kind of tie that in with memories of how I became undead as well, and just kind of that journey. But yeah, I'm so happy. Morty. Now we can ride after a rest.
I'm so happy you guys.
Oh, it's so great!
It is
the
very
happiest
cool.
ending I think we've ever had.
Really
It's never ended well.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it there.
Yeah.
So I need to know though. because
Black
we
Beauty
didn't have-
plays in the background.
What was the answer to? What was the viewer decision?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a very good question.
Are we
the
long
giant
rest? Are we
slide.
long resting inside the hut now that we have our horses?
I believe it was
I'm-
toilet.
Yeah, my abilities burn through spell slots, so
Yeah. I would say yeah.
Okay.
Catch some rest, guys, as you
Points.
you guys
Spell.
have the one-eyed man's hut. Does anyone want to try and do some stuff? Actually, we can roll for that next time, because honestly, I'm just happy to get the band back together and also
yeah.
make you horse.
Oh, you have a vampiric horse! That's
The
so
vampire
fucking
horse,
cool!
you have more too. There's
It matches me.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
was
was
trying to hack away
literally
from that thing
yeah, I was
dissipating.
because I was looking at it and I was just like trying to figure, and I'm like, oh wait, hold on, like how can I match them all up? And we've got a vampire who understands hunger and famine. We have
Oh, that's where it came from.
Indeed.
Yeah.
we have someone who is desperate to continue fighting and winning, and so conquest.
Oldorf.
But for Gregor, we have Gavin, who is a man at war and has been at war for a very long time with a lot of stuff. And, of course, Morty, who is, of course, death.
Does my horse have like fangs?
Have you checked?
Sure.
Horse fangs. Dun-dun-dun.
What I will say is, have you ever been bitten by a horse? They don't need fangs. Like,
No,
Those things are
they'll take your finger right off, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurts, dude.
Yikes.
however, yeah, there is somewhere out there, and I love, thank you, Super Wasp King, for this, because somewhere out there is a fourth rider who is owed a horse, has been for some time, and that hourglass is still.
Very cool.
We gonna fuck him up because these horses are stars.
Absolutely.
On a pale horse, man.
Grand Theft Horse. Yeah.
Grand Theft Horse, yeah.
So anyway,
Yes.
thank you so much, guys, for that was intense. That was amazing. That was a load of fun. Horseman of the Apocalypse. That was so satisfying to do. I'm glad it worked.
A real Horseman of the Apocalypse.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fuck you, Pedible 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh God. Yeah.
Well,
the
that's
Four Horsemen versus the Pentacle 5.
yeah,
I'm loving
it's on. Let's do some wrap up. Let's go around the cast and crew to enjoy ourselves. Where can we find you guys online? Of course, if you guys in chat enjoyed the show, let us know, because we love hearing what you guys think. And if you guys were watching the previous seasons on YouTube, man, you're going to be enjoying this. In fact, go back and watch it if you haven't. It's well worth watching previous seasons. And of course, follow us on Twitch. I'm actually going to be live again in an hour. I'll be over on Arvin Elrond's channel, talking about some Dungeons and Dragons. I'm a good man Arvin over there. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll see you guys there in a bit. But let's start with Josh. What do you think of tonight's session? Where can we find you online?
Super satisfying, like majorly cool. Yeah, loads of. It's always satisfying when you get something like that and chat's like, "Here's a thing," and I'm like, "Yes."
Yes.
And then someone else is like, "Here's 3 undead guys," and I'm like, "Yes," because there's 3. Yes, this is just this is a whole side stuff that I'm just gonna throw, and it's gonna be so much fun and stuff. Thank you guys so much. You can find me on Encounter Roleplay on Mondays doing things. You can find me on the deeply terrifying and turbulent and just torturous Turncloaks, which is just glorious, and if you haven't checked it out, you need to. And also, I have something that I am working on with that, I don't know where she is on the screen, with Laura Lania, which is super secret, but will be a thing. It's not super secret.
It's not super secret, but
Yeah, you told her, but I'll let her talk about that. That's me. Goodbye.
Great stuff. Let's go around reverse order. So, Laura Lania.
I am Laura Lanya. You can find me here on Twitch and on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube and on Instagram and on Discord. And Discord, I do a text-based roleplay system, and we do D&D every day on my stream, or Heroes of the Storm. And I had a lot of fun with tonight's session, being reunited with Morty after a whole fucking season. And I literally have dreams about where this horse went. And now we're finally together again. Oh, it's so good. And Louise came back. That's nice too.
That means Morty literally fought his way through Zamora. What the fuck were you guys bitching about? I mean, come on. He did it one man soloed. Oh.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Morty was in Louise's contract to come back, so that's you can thank Louise for that.
The only way I came back.
Thank you.
Main reason. Should be gone
We'll
for
get you scab for Morty. Good trade.
Yeah,
Good trade.
exactly. Yeah. Amazing. Top School.
What fun! I got to show off my other new thing that I have, which is my Raven Blade and my new channel divinity. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, more stuff and things. And I've got to learn resource management. That's my new thing that I need to start learning, because all the cool stuff, yeah, it takes a lot of gas out of the tank.
Yeah, that's why I was like doing the defensive stuff first, and I was like, I don't really want to cast spells for this random encounter because we're about to go into a big fucking city.
But no, I had a great time, and if you want to see all the other stuff that I do out there in social media and on the web, you can go to my Twitter account at Tall Squall and see all the other things that I do, including Learn by Play, where I play a entirely different character known as Miguel. And yeah, it's a trip. If you're out watching Learn by Play, we've only done 2 episodes. Get yourself caught up on the D&D YouTube channel, because oh man, all I gotta say is the entire party used int as their dump stat, flat out. And that's where we begin, at level 1. Yee-hee.
Oh boy.
Have a good one.
Amazing. And Louise.
I'm so glad to be back. I've missed this so much, and I've missed everybody, and now I have a vampire horse, and we're all back together again. I'm very emotional, and I'm very happy, and I can't wait to see what fun shenanigans us and our horse friends can get up to. and not dying. That's going to be my favorite. That's my favorite part so far. Haven't yet died, I think. Unsure. Will get back to you on
Well,
that
you
one.
undied.
I undied. I died and then I undied and then I'm sort of already dead, but you know, who cares?
Seems like an average Tuesday.
Yeah, casual. But you can find me on Twitter at No More No Less, and you can find pretty much everything else there. And obviously Twitch, Accidental Legend as well. I've been Louise. You've been the audience.
You've been fantastic.
You've been fantastic.
Just like our sponsors over at D&D
Yeah.
Dice.
There you
Yeah.
go. Thank you guys. Well, it's been an amazing show. Go follow these people. Go show them some love on all the social medias and Twitches and Twitters and shit like that, like you do. As for myself, I'm back in an hour's time on twitch.tv/Arvin Elrond's channel. Suggest you go over there. I'll put the link to Arvin there. I play every other Tuesday on Arvin's channel on a Middle-earth D&D campaign, which is so much fun. But tonight we're going to be talking about D&D. There's going to be a special guest. I don't even know who the special guest is. I don't even know who's going to be there other than me and Arvin. So I'm going to go over there and see what happens and chat about D&D for a little while. I'll see you guys over there in an hour's time. And of course back on this channel tomorrow at 1 PM Eastern for Call of Cthulhu Nameless Horrors. Oh, and tomorrow season 3 of Say What Dice happens. I'll be playing a dwarf in that as well named Grindelbrew, who's been divorced from his wife. He's an 800-year-old dwarf, and the rest of them are playing triplet halflings who they're taking along on a pity ride, a pity adventure, basically. It's going to be amazing with those guys over there. Can't wait for it. Until then, my friends, try not to too many net ones. Want to be laughing when you do. Good night!
Goodbye.